Last year, the Rochester Adams Highlanders demonstrated their skills to us in their game against Lake Orion. At times, though, their good luck turned bad, and Adams settled with a 4-5 record last season. The Berkley Bears have an explosive weapon in running back Corey Morris, ranked as one of the top players in the state. Corey is following in his brother Eric's footsteps, as Eric has moved on to Michigan State. Tonight, it's week 1 of the Oakland Activities Association season as the Berkley Bears battle the Adams Highlanders on the TCI Sports Game of the Week. The TCI Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Tonight from Rochester Adams High School, it's the Berkley Bears taking on the Rochester Adams Highlanders. Hello again, everyone. Dave Zorn along with Joe Abramson here to bring you the kickoff of the 1996 football season. And tonight, Joe, a pretty good matchup between these two teams.
Well, yeah, and it's one team that moved down from Division I into Division II, another that moved up from Division III to Division II, so it's a little new experience for both of them. For Berkley, it's going to be kind of interesting because they've had a real good time in Division III along with Kimball, last year going 7-2, just missing a playoff berth. Rochester Adams probably moving down a little bit where they should be because they're a little bit of a younger team, and even though their enrollments for Division I, this will be an interesting matchup. On paper, Berkley, they're ranked 8th in Oakland County. They've got the second best player in Oakland County. They should be the favorite, but you never know. Adams is at home, and we've seen them do some amazing things out on this field before.
Yeah, and that second best player is Corey Morris, and what a great season he had last year.
Yeah, and he's been in the shadow of his brother Eric, who's now gone on to Michigan State. But Corey's a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, and he's being recruited by Big Ten schools as well. He is, again, the number 2 player in Oakland County, the top fullback, and the Detroit News also had him as one of the top 15 players in the entire state of Michigan.
Okay, and on the other side for the Highlanders, Chris Barbuto, a strong player defensively.
Yeah, and if you're going to stop Corey Morris, you're going to need a guy on the defensive line to lead the way. You don't want your linebackers and your defensive backs making the tackles because then he's already got 10 yards. Barbuto, the coaches say, is real good at making reads, which is very important against a deceptive offense like Berkley runs. He's going to be the guy that has to pick up the fakes, pick up the deceptions, and stop Corey Morris from getting any big gains.
Okay, it's the Berkley Bears taking on the Rochester Adams Highlanders. Coming up next with the kickoff, we'll be back. Stay with us. The TCI Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Modernistic Carpet Cleaning, Comet Burgers in Royal Oak. Mention TCI Sports to get a free Comet Burger. And by Mike's Market Share Coupon Books.
I'm the king.
Of rock and roll?
No, coupons. I'm Mike Gauthier. Some people call me the king of coupons because nobody brings you bigger savings than my Market Share Coupon Book. Having trouble saving money? Then do what the Tripp family does. Carry the book, Mike's Market Share Coupon Book. You'll save thousands on things you use every day, like eyeglasses, oil changes, and cleaning from companies you trust. But you can't save unless you carry the book. Remember, you'll save a king's ransom using my Market Share Coupon Book.
Rumor has it, Comet Burgers is definitely the place to be seen in downtown Royal Oak. After the party, out for dinner, just looking for cold soft drinks, great burgers and fries, milkshakes or pizzas. Comet Burgers is the place to run into just about anybody.
Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Even old what's-his-name. Comet Burgers, they're out of this world.
When you call Modernistic, we'll show up with this. $35,000 worth of carpet and upholstery cleaning technology.
Call the competition. They'll probably show up with this.
Our truck-mounted equipment can professionally clean your carpets with 10 times the power of portable cleaners, removing dirt, harmful bacteria, pollens, and more.
The competition can't.
Of course, there is one thing the competition does that we can't.
They make a lot more noise.
Modernistic, count on us.
The TCI Sports Game of the Week. Welcome back to Rochester Adams High School. Dave Zorn along with Joe Abramson. And Joe, we're ready to start the 1996 football season here. As we take a look at the records from last year, the Berkley Bears 3-2 in the conference, 7-2 overall, and a pretty good season last year. The Rochester Adams Highlanders 2-3 in the conference, 4-5 overall.
Again, Berkley was in Division III last year. We got to correct one thing. Rochester Adams Division I last year, also Division I this year. This is technically a non-league game. There you see Pat Fox, and he's pretty excited about moving up from Division III to Division II. He said that's really what the team needed, and he's probably right, because in Division III, it was Berkley and Kimball and everybody else fighting for third place. And now Berkley and Kimball have moved up to Division II, where they both belong, and it'll be a better competition each week for these teams. No more 60-0 blowouts of Andover.
And we are now underway in the 1996 football season. Back to receive for the Highlanders is number 85. And that is Baginski, who takes it all the way down the sidelines and out at about the 40-yard line. So a great return for the Highlanders to start the season.
Good start.
See Jim DeJager.
And Jim DeJager going to bring his team out in the wing T offense, and the very same offense that Berkley runs. Should see a lot of running today. And, well, you know, the last time we were here, there was an all-state caliber running back for Lake Orion. Dennis Mahan ran for 380 yards. Now we're back, and there's an all-state caliber running back for Berkley. I don't know if he's going to get 380, but
yeah, so
be a
both
good running
times the teams having their hands full. Mike Brown, Jesse Velasquez, Kevin Summers, Chappelle, and then you saw the referees, the officials for tonight's game. As the first play for the Highlanders goes for about 3 or 4 yards. It'll be second and about 6 coming up.
And start some of that running that we're seeing early. And again, I think if you're Adams, especially when you are facing a team that is potentially as explosive as Berkley can be, you want to run the ball and take time off the clock. You don't want to give them a whole lot of time to run up a big lead on you. You want to try to establish something here, get a lead on them, and take time off the clock while doing it.
Second and 7, the man in motion gets the handoff this time, Lee Ritter. And Ritter, after a gain of about 2 yards, it'll be third and about 3 coming up.
You know, it's to see if they'll probably run it again, but you've got Velasco in there, an experienced quarterback, a left-hander coming off of season-ending broken collarbone last year. And there's number 8, Corey Morris, playing both ways, a great linebacker as well. Got to think he's being recruited as a fullback.
Great linebacker last year, 87 tackles and 6 sacks on defense. And this time in a fumble, Chris Wesley didn't even get it in his gut.
Yeah, I don't think he got stripped. I just don't think he ever had it.
No, he was looking for it, and the quarterback, Velasco, just let go of it, and he thought he had it in his hands, and the fumble.
Bill Walters with the recovery.
By Walters, and now the Berkley Bears have great field position in Highlander territory.
And that's the absolute last thing that you want if you're Adams. And there you see the ball falling around there, and somewhere in there is Bill Walters on top of the ball.
That is not the way you hand the ball off. We're supposed to stick that ball right in the gut of the running back. The running back did not run right in there and look at it. He kind of hesitated, tiptoed towards the line. And that coordination, you'll see the problem early in the season like we are right now. Back to pass, Wallstad. That is Jeremy Wallstad, takes it on the run, and he's got a big gain as he rolled out to pass and took it all by himself for a big 20-yard gain.
Well, he had the first down the minute he decided to turn it upfield. There was nobody near him. Watch this. He's going to roll out, and the defensive backs and the linebackers, I guess, drop back into coverage. At this point, it would be dumb to even think about throwing. He had so much open field in front of him, and you see him pick up well over 10 yards, an easy first down for the Bears.
20-yard gain for the quarterback, Jeremy Wallstad. And the Berkley Bears have a first and 10 at the 25. Handoff on the end around. And that is Gray, Kenwan Gray. And a nice gain for him around the end.
Again, with all that misdirection that you get with the wing T, you can get those linebackers to freeze just a second because you can't help but concentrate on Corey Morris. You're going to see a play-action fake to Corey Morris, and he's going to go left right there. That gives Kenwan Gray a chance to follow the linemen that are pulling right. Lets him pick up 9 yards, have second down and 1.
And it was not an end around. That was the T-back, but Gray, a wide receiver last season, now he lines up in the slot out there. But he just couldn't break into that backfield last year with Eric Morris and Corey Morris.
Exactly. Now
the option taken by Wallstad as he dives forward for the first down.
Well, and again, the play action to Corey Morris, and you can't ignore that. You have to fall for that if you're the defense, because you know that the guy can break one at any time. And the combination of size and speed, even if you have one guy on him, he might blow right through him. So make it real easy to pick up a yard.
There you see the crowd. The weather conditions tonight, hot and humid and overcast, threatening showers, and we are on the fringe of Hurricane Fran, which bombarded the coast and now is trying to make its way inward. Alstead rolls out. He's got a lot of room to run, but he decides to dump it off, and a good decision to his tight end. And they pick up another 8 or 9 yards. And the Berkley Bears offense just moving right down the field. The Highlanders need to do something now to combat that.
Well, a good decision here by Wallstead. What he wanted to do, well, it was Morris, the fullback,
Morris
on a play action.
Came through the line.
What he really wanted to do was hit Hennessy in the end zone. Hennessy was covered, so he went short to the fullback. Morris got it. And again, pickup of 9 yards, 2nd down and 1. Pat Hennessy was in the end zone, but he was well covered, and a very good decision by Walters to go short.
I saw the 8 down there, didn't see the other number, and I thought it was a tight end just flaring out, but it was Morris from the backfield picking up big yardage, and now a fumble down in the end zone, and it turns out to be
down.
a touchdown.
They ruled
No,
him down.
let's see.
They said he was down.
He was down.
Down by contact before the fumble. No fumble.
Falling on it down there was Pat Pounds in the end zone. Thought he had it, but they had already whistled it down.
Yeah, either way, it's 1st and goal now for the Bears at the 1 yard line.
Let's take a look.
Well, Corey Morris's first carry of the game on 2nd down and 1. Here he gets the 1st down with ease and almost gets in the end zone. That's a good call.
He was down on the ground when it came out. So the Bears moving from the 45-yard line.
The Bears are going to call a timeout. And they had Corey Morris lined up on a wingback that time. They actually had Ernie Scalzi lined up in the backfield as the runner. And I don't know if you need to run some sort of misdirection thing from the 1 yard line.
Jim DeJagger looking on. His defense has got to be tough now, as the Berkley Bears have just moved it very easily down the field on their first possession, and this could be a long night for Jim DeJagger with that very potent Berkley offense.
And he's got, and well, you see Pat Fox in the huddle there coordinating his offense. DeJagger's got his defensive coordinator out there talking to the defense right now. Again, on 1st and goal at the 1. Odds are that Berkley Bears with Corey Morris can get a yard in one of the next 4 plays. And that's probably what they're telling the Adams guys are saying, go for the turnover, strip the ball.
If you remember last year, Berkley had a great start in the season last year, just bombarding teams with scores in the 50s and 70s, even one game. Yep. And now their offense doesn't seem like they've missed a beat.
Yeah, and then, of course, they're not playing Andover.
Yeah. But even though, not everybody piles up that many points against Andover, and that just to do that, I think, was quite a feat. Morris on the handoff, and he looks like he will come up short here. Let's see.
Well, I'll tell you, right at the bottom of that pile was a guy we talked about in the open, Chris Barbuto. He got low, was able to take his feet out. And, the formation we saw before the timeout had Corey Morris off at a wingback. Now they had him at fullback where he belongs. And there's number 9, who we had seen, Ernie Scalzi. He had been at running back. And once again, Corey Morris at fullback.
Morris at 200 pounds, 6'1". The quarterback takes it himself, and I don't think he got in either. Let's see.
Well, you're so close that all you have to do is get the ball over the line. But no, 3rd down.
3rd down coming up.
Give that Highlander defense a lot of credit.
What a great defensive stand this will be right now for the Highlanders if they can stop them. Let's take a look.
Great stand by Barbuto and company. Guys like Nathaniel Farley, Trevor Potts, these guys are all in the middle there. They're not letting him gain anything.
Just shy of the goal line. The Berkley Bears need to just dive over that. And they do. Corey Morris finds a little bit of room and gets in. And the Berkley Bears take a 6-0 lead with 7:29 left here in the first quarter.
Again, you're looking at a guy 6'1", 200 pounds and strong. If you have to gain a half a yard, that's the guy you go to. And, the best defenses in the world aren't going to stop that on every play. But that was an impressive stand at the goal line, though. They made him earn that.
Took 3 downs, but the Berkley Bears do get in, and now the extra point attempt.
It's Nate Kunkel. I think he's waiting for his holder.
They're going to call timeout.
They're going to use their second timeout.
They don't have a holder out there, and now Pat Fox finally calls the quarterback, Jeremy Wallstad, out there. Jeremy, excited about the touchdown, forgot that he had to go into hold.
Yeah, one other thing you got to do here, and that's 2 timeouts they've thrown away. You know, at the 1 yard line and then on an extra point. You don't really want to do that this early in the first quarter.
Pat Fox not too worried about it, but saying, hey guys, let's focus here. It's the first game of the season.
Yeah, it's a first game mistake.
Yeah. And the Berkley Bears getting ready to try to tack on a extra point. Jim DeJager's team putting up a valiant effort, but Bears pretty much took it right down the field easy.
And if you're Adams, what do you do during that timeout? You know, you've got a kick block situation in there. You know, you really can't sit and come up with something new.
Yeah.
You just kind of wait for these guys to kick.
There's Nate Kunkel. Kunkel picks it up and through, and the Bears lead 7-0.
That was a short drive keyed by that turnover. And the Bears able to move it downfield and really didn't use Corey Morris a lot. But believe me, he was effective on every play because the plays where he wasn't running it, there's 2 or 3 guys spying on him, covering him.
Yep, and there we see 8 plays, 45 yards total. Morris on the 1 yard run, 3:27 off the clock. Wallstad had 2 rushes for 23 yards. Actually, he had another rush down there near the goal line, 3.
Yeah, on the sneak.
Yeah, this one.
And
then 1 for 1 on passing. That was to Corey Morris.
That is, you know, real effective offense. That's in this kind of offense. You're not looking for your quarterback to put up, 250 yards or anything like that. You're looking for efficiency, and Wallstad definitely was that.
He was, and in fact, that pass that he did throw to Morris, he could have taken off for that one for a few yards. There you see, back to receive was Ryan Chase. This will go out of bounds at about the 13-yard line.
So it'll come up to the 35.
So that will come out, and again, a good field position for the Highlanders to start.
And yeah, that's well, the last time they had good field position on the return. This time they get it on the kickoff, going out of bounds, and now they've got to take advantage of it, not turn the ball over.
You see Kenwan Gray, who was switched from wide receiver last year to running back this year. And Pat Fox told us that he is primarily a running back. He was really a running back last year when they put him in that position. Well, because of his skill, they put him in wide receiver.
You have to remember, in this wing T offense, really a wide receiver is a running back. They don't throw a lot. There's so much reverses and stuff that it's really from a wing back to a tailback is really what this is.
Todd Velasco, the quarterback, 6'1", 180. He's got a man in motion, fakes to him, and rolls out. He's got room to run, and he'll take off. And the man we talked about, number 21, Kenwan Gray, drags him out of bounds at about the 40.
Here's a situation where you're looking downfield, and you see number 42, Chris Shad, open. And the quarterback, Velasco's rolling out right, but he's a left-hander. And if he's a right-hander, it's just an easy pick up and throw. Here he's got to turn his body and try to make an accurate throw, and I don't think that's something you want to do. Instead, you have him make the easy 5 yards that he got. But it is probably something that they're going to find in their memory bank, that Shad was able to get himself open downfield. Maybe come back to that later.
2nd and 5 now. Velasco coming back from a broken collarbone last season. The dive, and it works very well for the Highlanders, and it looks like a first down. Good carry there by Chris Wesley as he did a little spin move in there and managed to dive forward close to a first down. Let's see. Yes, he did get it.
Yeah, following Landholt, Springer, and Ferguson with the blocking. See number 60, Ferguson there pulling, leading the way. A little second effort here as well. It got the first down.
The Highlanders were moving the ball pretty well in their first drive. It was the fumble that cost them really that early 7-point lead to the Berkley Bears. Ball on the 45. Straight dive this time. And a gain of maybe about 4 or 5, that time by, let's see who that was, number 45 down there.
That's Buchek, I believe.
Buzek, Mike Buzek, 5'10", 190.
And so if you can get 4 or 5 yards every time, that's great for Adams. You just take some time off the clock and move the ball down, wear out this defense for Berkley. And again, it's not, you look at the two sidelines, Berkley does not have as many players, so they've got to have more two-way guys. If you can make Corey Morris tackle that, maybe you can take his legs from him for late in the game.
And off to the wingback coming around, Lee Ritter, and Ritter picks up the first down. So now the Highlanders look like they're moving pretty well, but we do have the first flag of the game at the 50-yard line, and it looks like it's going to be against the offense. Yes.
Well, they were moving too, and they still, you know, it's going to be second down and 15 or so, but the offense, the plays are working. They've got the plays going, and again, you know, if you can make
holding
Morris
on the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, still second down.
So the spot of the foul at the 50 to bring it back to the 40-yard line. So now it'll be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, again, you know, if you can make Corey Morris do a lot, and he's doing a lot now as a linebacker. A lot of times when you see running backs that do play both ways, they're at D-back, and you know, it's not the physical pounding that linebacker is. Physically take a lot out of him.
Velasco back to throw, and almost intercepted tip there by Corey Morris. And good concentration, though, by Ryan Chase as he tried to get it after the tip, but a good effort defensively by Corey Morris to knock that one down.
Good coverage, and he shows good quickness. Again, a little more quickness than your average high school linebacker. And he's able to keep up with the wide receiver and make the play right there.
It was a long throw for Velasco, so you're throwing back here to the wide side. So it took time for the ball to get there.
You'd have to think that Chase had him beat at one time, and Morris was able to recover. And again, that's the sign of a good athlete doing that.
3rd down and 15, another passing down. Velasco back to throw. Gets a little bit of pressure, good pass, but intercepted at the 28. The correction at the 40-yard line. And the Berkley Bears, a big crunch there. David Wallstatt with the interception. So 2 turnovers now for the Highlanders on their 2 possessions. And the Berkley Bears in good field position again.
Both of the Wallstatts are making big plays today. And right here, Velasco's trying to force it down the middle. I thought he had a receiver open down the left side.
Yeah, he got a lot on it. Yeah, but it was way off.
I don't know which guy he was looking at.
I think it was intended for 42 down the
He had
sideline.
Shad down there. Ryan Shad way down there. Or Chris Shad, I should say.
Yeah, Chris Shad.
But he had a couple other, he had a guy left and he had a guy short. I'm not sure who, I don't know who he's throwing for.
So David Wallstatt with the interception, and now his brother Jeremy throwing again to Corey Morris. Morris down the sideline has an opening, and did he get in? Yes.
He had 2 blockers in front of him. You couldn't, I bet that doesn't run any more efficiently in practice than it did right there.
32 yards for the touchdown, and Corey Morris has 2 TDs already. 5:48 left here in the first quarter.
Wow, was that easy. Now take a look at this. He's throwing very awkwardly. Now this is a right-hander having to turn his body. There he's got Corey Morris with the ball, and he's got blocking in front of him, and he's got speed. And the combination makes it real easy. He had Doug Fisher up in front of him, and he had Hennessy in front, both leading the way after he caught the ball.
Now the extra point by Kunkel to make it 14-0, and he gets it through. Well,
2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's been the Highlanders offense that's hurt them. They have turned the ball over twice in great field position both times for Berkley in Highlander territory.
Well, and it's been mistakes by the offense, because other than that, the offense is moving for Adams. They're not getting dominated or anything. You know, they killed themselves with a penalty when they should have had a first down. Then the turnover, that's 2 turnovers that give Berkley possession on the other side of the 50-yard line. They haven't had a 50-yard drive yet. I mean, that was just a 1-play drive right there. And I don't think you can't afford to do that too much against a team like Berkley.
5:48 left here in the first quarter, and the Berkley Bears making a statement here in their new division. But again, this is not a conference game.
Now Berkley's in a new division.
The new division.
Something new about them also.
Not a conference game.
Something else new about the Berkley Bears.
Yes.
Uniforms.
That's right.
Yeah, anybody who's been watching Berkley over the years, don't adjust the color on your set. They're wearing blue. White and blue. They used to be red. And Pat Fox said, yeah, they finally went to use the school colors. There you see the 1-play drive. School colors always has been blue, but they didn't have any blue uniforms in school, so they used the red. They called it maroon. It was red. But now they're wearing blue. So they're going with the I guess, what the Bears were supposed to be from the start.
As Joe mentioned, the drive there, one play, 32 yards. The ball fielded there by Gillespie. Asher Gillespie takes it, and he finds some room, and then finally crunched in on him at about the 34-yard line.
What's the third time in a row that Adams has great field position to start the drive? It's a good time to point something out, too, because he's stopped in bounds. Normally, last year, in any situation like this, the ref would place the ball down like he just did, and the clock would start, as you see the return on the replay. And they've made a rule change in Michigan that I think is nationwide. As you see, once again, that's Gillespie get the ball up to the 35. This is going to add 15 minutes to the game, add a lot of plays to the game. Now the clock doesn't start on change of possession until the first snap, which will come into play late in the game.
A handoff there going to 45. That is Buzek. Mike Buzek on the first down carry, carries for about a couple of yards.
Or, to put that into layman's terms, at this time last year, now there's 5:26. That play started with 5:38, which is how much time was left when the returner was tackled. At this time last year, there would have been about 4:59 left when that play would have started. Now there's 5:38. The clock doesn't start until the start of the next drive.
So a lot more time now given to the teams to get organized and get out there.
It's going to add 20 to 30 plays a game.
Getting in there quickly was number 21, Kenwan Gray, and also Scalzi.
Berkley might have beat Andover 80-0 last year.
If that happened. There you see first downs. Berkley with 4 of them. And Rochester Adams, they picked up a few first downs. I don't know how that
I know they got one first
bias.
down.
Yeah, they picked up.
I know they got the one on the last drive.
Yeah. Let's take a look. As getting in there was Scalzi at first, and then finishing him off was Kenwan Gray. Velasco back to pass, and it caves in on him quickly. And getting in there was Bill Walters. Had him by the legs, and that slowed him up, and then everyone else caved in on him.
Some teams, when you watch this defense, you hear about their offense, their defense is doing a great job. Certain teams like a Troy or Catholic Central, their defense does it with size and strength. These guys have some size, they have some strength. They're doing it with speed. They get in so fast that you just can't pick up everybody, and then they throw your offense completely off.
This is the first time that the Highlanders have had to punt. As we mentioned, the 2 turnovers have killed them, and that has given the Berkley Bears a 14-0 lead. This is the first time the Bears will take the ball in their own territory, and the ball is at about the 36-yard line.
And it's still 3 minutes, 49 seconds left in the first quarter.
That was a 34-yard punt by number 30, Eric Cable.
34-yard punt. Heard the PA announcer. And that will start the Bears in their own territory again for the first time at their 36. There you see the score, 14-0, as the Berkley Bears have taken advantage of 2 turnovers by the Highlanders with 3:49 left here in the first quarter. And you're right, you can really notice that clock is not going. Normally, we'd probably be done with the first quarter. Yeah. Here come the Bears. Potent offense last year. This year, seem to be doing the same thing. In motion goes Hennessy. Pat Hennessy, and he sets up, spread out. Straight dive, look at this. A big run by Scalzi. Scalzi down the sideline and finally down out of bounds at about the 20. But we do have indication, and Phillips has a flag, but I didn't see one.
No.
A big gain by Scalzi. Ernie Scalzi, let's take a look.
And
Straight dive.
You're so obsessed with Corey Morris, and Ernie Scalzi takes off, and he's got the longest run of the day. Of course, it's only the first quarter. Let's see how this ends.
Started at the 36, their own 36, and now they're inside the 25 at about the 23-yard line, 22-yard line. Hennessy spreads out again. And now, this time, Jeremy Walstad gets hit from behind by Dale Goodson, number 96, the defensive end.
5'11", 220. He got in quick. When you're talking about Berkley speed, there was some quickness by Goodson and some strength. And watch this. There's no way to get this pitch out. They didn't fall for the...
right in his face.
Yeah, didn't fall for that give to Morris. And we got a little delay because the scoreboard's out.
Scoreboard has gone out. The referees now will try to keep the time down on the field.
Yeah.
See what they can do.
Somebody unplugged something.
Okay, now the referees will come to the sideline, talk to the coaches, and let them know what they have in terms of time.
Well, scoreboard's on, but
yeah, now it's on, now it's back on.
But the time and everything has been erased.
Right, it was 3:40. Was it about
3:59?
No, 3:40.
3:38 after the long run.
Yeah, they're punching it in, and they punch it in from up here, and they're not referees. Were not.
There have been two plays
really
since
sure.
it was 3:49.
Yeah,
there was a long run and a short run.
Right. 3:49 is when we started
the drive
back at the 36-yard line, and then two plays since then.
Yeah, they've just added time to the clock because it was 3:38 after Scalzi's long run that went out of bounds, and then the tackle of the quarterback would have taken whatever time it took off, and the clock would be running, so it'd probably be about 3:25.
And now they're getting a correction. There you see down on the sideline the offense with Jim DeJager going over some of their plays offensively. Next week, a big matchup. The Clarkston Wolves take on the Berkley Bears. Clarkston, one of the top teams in the state.
And have, I would think, the best quarterback in the state in Dane Fife. He's only a junior.
Only a junior. He amazed us last year in basketball and at the three-point slam dunk contest, and now he's going to amaze us again in football. Flags fly now on the 2nd and 14 situation after the sack.
So aside from these new rules to lengthen the game, we've added 20 seconds to the game. We got to longer the game again.
And flags fly. Let's hear the call down on the field.
We have a dead ball foul, encroachment, defense lined up in the neutral zone. Still second down.
So the sack comes right back for the Bears. That helps them now. 2nd and about 9 coming up now.
Behind the stud, get to the linebacker. Watch for the other linebacker. If he's
So the clock should be moving here off the
Jim
penalty.
DeJager down there. Hand off to the second man through, and look at this. Nobody saw him. Touchdown by Gray, Kenwan Gray, and a great play there by the Berkley Bears as they faked the first man through. Kenwan came back around from the other side, and nobody saw him.
Well, that's about as efficient as you're going to run the wing T offense. And take a look at this. Again, you follow Corey Morris through, and several guys did, and then Kenwan Gray saw a hole and cut up. He didn't have much of a hole. That was a lot of quickness on his part to get through there.
And now the extra point attempt. Again, Nate Kunkel kicks it up, and that was a little closer, but he got it through. And the Berkley Bears go up 21-0, and we're still in the first quarter.
I didn't think we were going to have to bring this up, and I sure as heck didn't think we'd ever have to bring it up this early, but there's a mercy rule in this league.
Yeah, and we didn't think we'd have to bring it up.
Not in this game, I didn't. But
before the season, we had a chance to talk to the head of the referees, Lyle Sanderson.
Yeah, and the mercy rule's been around for a few years, and a lot of leagues have had it. It's real simple. If you're up 35 points, the clock just keeps running until you're no longer up 35 points. Yeah. And, of course, that might offset all this delay we've had.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's anything Adams wants to deal with.
Not right now. Well, Highlanders knew the Bears were going to be trouble, but really not this much. Not 20-0 here in the first quarter.
It's going to be interesting to see next week how good they are. You know, they've kind of got the momentum now, and they are the kind of team that takes momentum and builds on it.
You see Ryan Chase back there with number 22, Ramaya. This one will go short and then bounce right past number 85, Baginski and goes into the end zone. Ball will come out to the 20-yard line.
Baginski was counting on that thing going out of bounds, and it looked like it was going to. It took a sharp right turn into the end zone. Now it's at the 20. Yeah, last year you'd see some of those games, those 60-0, 40-0, whatever that Berkley would get. They'd get momentum, build up, and their confidence soars, and they are able to demoralize the team. But they're not. They weren't the kind of team that won close games. Now last year they had the big game against Kimball, and they lost it. And they were losing all the way through. And you don't want to criticize this, but over the years that I've seen Berkley, they tend to do that in the bigger game. Never beat Seaholm, never beat Kimball. Those are the teams they don't beat. Now they're playing Clarkston next week. See how that goes.
Let's see what they do this year. On the carry, Wesley, and he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. And I believe he does.
Of course, I can't say much because then Berkley did turn around and beat Brother Rice in the playoffs.
Let's take a look at the drive. 3 plays, 64 yards.
Yeah, and I see a 9-second scoring drive is impossible. But again, that's because the clock never got reset to the right time.
Yeah, and they did run plays. It did take us a little bit longer than 9 seconds, but that is what we had.
Deal with it.
2nd and 10, 3:03 on the clock. Rolling out Velasco. Did not get a block that he needed from number 72 in there. Loswitz. Loswitz was right there. And,
look who got it.
Didn't look behind him, though.
Corey Morris.
Corey
Again,
Morris.
Speed and strength and instinct and intelligence. He's reading it. He's through. He's already beaten everybody there. And right now, you've got a lineman looking at him. He doesn't need to be. He's looking up. Yeah. Corey Morris comes from behind. There's nothing he can do about it. Yeah.
Loswitz didn't even know he was there. Corey Morris had 6 sacks last year. Already 1 here in the first game.
I'll tell you who he plays a little bit like is David Bones when he was at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. That's not saying, I'm not going to predict anybody's going to end up that good. David Bones started as a true freshman at Michigan, and I know Michigan's not what they used to be, but still that doesn't happen there. But it's the same style, it's that real combination of speed and strength that you just don't see in high school.
Bruzek had the last carry for the Highlanders. Not much there, and it'll be 4th and 17 and a punting down for the Highlanders. There you see total yards, and a big mismatch as you see 108-6.
We've got another timeout. Who called it this time? So official timeout?
Official timeout. Let's take a look.
A dead ball foul, illegal substitution on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
All right. The only thing I can think of that could have happened there is a guy came in and came out. You can't send a guy in as a messenger and have him leave. He's got to stay in.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can imagine for illegal substitution on the defense like that.
Eric Sable will now get a little bit more room to kick. And back to receive is number 28, David Wallstad, who had a nice interception earlier. They tried to go for the block, and maybe he got a little fingertip on it because that was not a very good punt, although it will roll out at about the 45-yard line.
Joe Schlem got in there real fast, and another half a second he's got that thing.
Yeah, he was very close to getting a hand on that one. Clock now at 1:40 here in the first quarter, and the Berkley Bears have just dominated in this one.
Yeah, they look very impressive, and again, they've moved up a league. They still will have some familiar opponents, mainly Kimball, and then they'll have Seaholm, who they haven't played in the last couple years, but used to be in the old SMA with them. It's going to be a different situation for them than it was the previous.
A lot of movement in the backfield for the Bears as the running backs were leaning forward and moving. And Joe, I think that the turnovers by the Highlander offense have really hurt the offense now in terms of morale. They couldn't move the ball at all, where they were moving the ball at least the first 2 times, and now they couldn't do much. Let's take a look.
Legal procedure on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Legal procedure, that was the movement in the backfield, and it knocks them back 5 yards, so the Bears will be at about the 50-yard line.
When we talked to Lyle Sanderson, he had said...
You see the movement right there?
Basically, illegal motion is what it is, and that I was about to bring up. Lyle Sanderson said that illegal procedure doesn't exist. That's not a word. It's illegal motion, in terms of verbiage for high school football.
Handoff goes outside to Gray. Gray trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and he'll fall just short of that. Kenwan Gray.
When you've got the kind of speed and athleticism that they have and the experience that those players have, we don't worry about it. 1st and 15, big deal. We can get 15 yards in one play on 4th down if we want to here. That's Berkley's attitude right now. Let him run that little counter. Maybe you give it to Corey Morris here. Run that play action that they haven't run in a while. Right now, they are such a loaded offense that you can't key on everything from a defensive standpoint. And when you're already down 21-0, it makes it really tough for the defense.
2nd and 12. Jeremy Wallstat rolling out, gets back.
He's making it a
pass one defender, and then everybody else caves in on him. Took a little too much time with it and gets knocked back for, oh, geez, about a 7-yard loss.
Let's see what kind of forward progress they give him, but I tell you, I'm pretty sure what he was doing was trying to stay behind the line of scrimmage. Take a look at what he does. You see that's number 2. That's the down marker. That's the line of scrimmage. Watch right here. He's going to move up. Now he looks over. He's trying to stay behind the line of scrimmage. He wants to throw downfield to Corey Morris. Morris never got open. Probably should have just taken off and gotten 2 or 3 yards, but it's not like what he did on the first play of the first series when he had all kinds of running room to gain 10, 15 yards. He was only going to gain 2 or 3, but that's still better than losing 5 or 6.
A 3rd and 18 now, and a big passing down again. In motion is Gray. Time winding down, and that'll be the last play here in the first quarter. And a big 4th down coming up for the Bears. So the defense now fired up for the Highlanders, and that comes through. We'll be back with the score 21-0. At the end of the first quarter, we'll be back with second quarter action after this.
When you call Modernistic, we'll show up with this: $35,000 worth of carpet and upholstery cleaning technology.
Call the competition, they'll probably show up with this.
Our truck-mounted equipment can professionally clean your carpets with 10 times the power of portable cleaners, removing dirt, harmful bacteria, pollens, and more.
The competition can.
Of course, there is one thing the competition does that we can't.
They make a lot more noise.
Modernistic, count on us.
And the second quarter about to begin. Dave Zorin along with Joe Abramson here at Rochester Adams High School as the Highlanders come up with a big defensive stand here to force a 4th down from the Berkley Bears, something they haven't been able to do.
First time that Berkley's going to have to punt, and it's Corey Morris doing the punting.
Maybe they're...
what else he can do?
Maybe the Berkley offense tried to take a little break and a breather instead of trying to run it down the field.
Yeah, Corey Morris is on the field for everything. Offense, defense, punting.
He's like Cornell Stewart.
Yeah.
Why don't you go in there and punt? And he does. Corey Morris gets this one off. Fielded at about the 16-yard line there by Baginski, and he is swarmed on out there at about the 28-yard line. First down at the 28, their own 28. The Highlanders will start there.
And now the Highlanders have to just come and say, all right, first quarter stump. Just start over. We've got good field position. The offense was executing, except for turnovers and penalties. We were moving the ball on these guys. You're not going to get 21 points back in one play anyway. Just have a positive drive and get points out of it, even if it takes 10 minutes to do it.
Velasco handing off to Wesley. Oh, was he stuck there? And getting in there quickly was number 42 for the Berkley Bears, and that was Dombrowski. He was running full speed when he hit him.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look.
That's not the way to start a good drive, and but that's one of those names that John Madden likes. You know, Dombrowski's and Grabowski's and Nitschke's, and you know.
You saw Wesley went backwards when he hit him, and
I think he was slipping a little too.
Yeah.
Boy, he felt it.
Hit him at the right time. Wesley again tripped up at the line of scrimmage. And the Highlander offense now having trouble getting going here in the second quarter.
You've also got a very confident defense, and you can play a little more aggressive when you're up 21-0, and that's what they're doing. They're, you're not real worried about, oh man, if they fake us out, they're going to jump out 7-0 on us. You're up 21-0. You can maybe afford to give up a good play, and you can get real aggressive.
Take some gambles.
Absolutely, and you're just one more play away from just totally ending this ball game.
In fact, a loss of a yard. It's 3rd and 11, a passing down, and there comes the pressure from Corey Morris. Velasco has to run and does a pretty good job of getting something out of that.
For not having any blocking in front of him, he got some yardage.
He sure did. Got out to about the 35. So let's hear this play down there, if we can hear it. There he goes, out of bounds. 4th down now and 4. Unfortunately, punting down here for the Highlanders. Again, having trouble getting their offense going after the turnovers. The punt, a good one this time by Sable. Taken back there by Wallstedt, and Wallstedt swarmed on. Good coverage down there by the Highlanders as they get him inside the 35, or right about the 35-yard line.
Well, once again, almost had the block, and there's a couple other guys in there as well. If you're going to go for the punt block, you're not going to have a return, and that's what happened. He had, 5 or 6 brown jerseys there waiting for him, and really, it would have been just as well just a fair catch. He's right where he caught it anyway, and you don't risk the fumble. But now it's the Berkley offense back at it.
Berkley getting the ball here for the first time in the second quarter. Will show us same backfield, a little bit different. I think Morris is in there. Let's see. No, little breather in there. Gray now. Kenwan Gray trying to bounce it outside, and good defense by the Highlanders as they string it out, and possibly a loss on the play, a loss of maybe a yard or 2.
Well, that's about the first time they've lost yardage other than that kind of quarterback sack. It's not really a sack when he's running an option that they had before, but here they're able to stop Kenwan Gray going outside, and second down 10. Let's see if Corey Morris is done resting.
Yeah, just everybody down there for the Highlanders as they good pursuit, good coverage. Loss of just short of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11 now. A handoff goes to Gray. Kenwan Gray getting back across the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard or 2. And again, the Highlanders stack him up.
That didn't fool anybody. One of the things, too, and one of the things that's really impressed me up till this drive, the way the Berkley offense is going, is you run that wing T, and very few teams run it, so you don't face it a lot. And anyway, take a look here at why this play doesn't work. It works for a few yards, but Adams runs the same offense, and they're used to this. They run against this in practice, and that's part of the thing that surprised me, that Berkley's offense has been so effective so early.
Morris on the counter, hands off to Kenwan Gray, and look at him go down the sideline, makes a move, and he's still going. Everything's clean, touchdown, Berkley.
Oh man, he's wearing the right number for that move.
Well, they did it right. They handed off to Morris at first. Everybody took that one and followed him, and did not expect Gray to get it on the counter.
No, yeah, that move though, that only there's a guy who wears number 21 in Dallas does that kind of move, and that's wow.
Let's take a look. Here's the first handoff to Corey Morris, and then quick. Morris with a nice handoff. Look at everybody coming this way.
Absolutely, and that's, again, you can't ignore Corey Morris. Now take a look. He's just cornered right here, and instead of reversing his field, just does a little step there.
And a nice job here not to block and get a clipping call.
Little Deion Sanders stutter step, though. Love that.
That's your boy. The extra point is up, and it is good. So the second quarter starts out very good for the Berkley Bears on their possession.
Wow. Now that is tough, because the first 2 plays of that drive, the Adams defense did their job, held them back and all that. And now, as you see, retired Kenwan Gray, and he's showing that he's every bit the offensive weapon that Corey Morris is. Yeah. But again, Corey Morris played a huge role on that touchdown, because, like you pointed out right away, 3 guys followed him, and on that, you do that reverse so quick, and you've got the kind of speed Kenwan Gray has.
Kenwan Gray with 2 touchdowns, 20 yards, and now 53 yards, respectively, and makes it 28-0. All Berkley so far.
Wow.
And time to get out those rules on the mercy.
Yeah, one thing we never bothered to check on, because we never thought it would come up, is does it go into effect in the first half?
Question.
I don't know.
I would think it
should.
would.
Yeah, it should, but well, we might get a chance to find out.
Yeah, on the next score, possibly. Kick by Kunkel. Is it low squib? Look at the ball is loose, and getting in there quickly was a Berkley Bear, but I don't think he got it. 49 got in there quickly, and that was Schlum. But the Highlanders, number 54, comes up with it.
I'm not obviously anyone can say this now. I almost said I bet the onside kick.
I don't know why, but it didn't work. But not a bad decision.
3 plays, 65 yards for the Bears on 1:41 off the clock. 53 yards by Kenwan Gray, and there you see the Highlanders who get the ball back. Number 54 there on the.
Again, the Highlander defense had done a good job on those first 2 plays of that drive, and then to have that happen to them, that's tough. And
Velasco throwing right into the hands of Dombrowski, and he didn't expect it.
No, and he's looking at Chris Shad, and I don't know the angle he was looking at, but let's see if we can see where Shad looks open. Well, no. I mean, he was a little disguised there, but boy.
Should have let him, if anything.
You've got to
throw it right in.
You throw into the middle like that, you've got to fire. You got to fire things so hard.
And I think he tried to fire it hard, and that's why maybe his grip slipped on it. You saw the wobble on that. Here's the counter inside, and
good play, good defensive play.
Yeah, Lee Ritter on the carry.
Greg Hadfield, good tackle. Stopped him, held him to maybe a 3 or 4 yard gain, what could have been an 8 yard gain. Now it's 3rd down and long once again.
3rd down, and we'll call about a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Sounds good.
Ball at about the 46-yard line, 3rd and 8. You see on your screen. Lasco, quick drop back, and then decides to take off, but it all collapses on him. And guess who got him? Corey Morris.
The whole deep there. I don't know what's doing a better job, Berkeley's offense or Berkeley's defense, because their defense, their line is getting in quick, but their backs are covering everybody, so he can't find anybody to throw to. Then their linebackers are there to prevent the scramble. There's no weak point in that defense. But the offense is doing great. I'd like to see their offense play their defense. Their scrimmages are probably great, except Corey Morris can only play one way.
That'd be something to watch. That's right.
Hey, he's out. Morris. He's sitting for a play.
Taking a breather as the Highlanders go to punt.
Oh, my.
Sable to punt. Landing at about the 25, and then Wallstead lets it go inside the 10. So the Bears, the deepest they've ever had to be in their own territory, but that only gives them more yards to work with.
Yeah, this is a stat drive.
Yeah.
92-yard drive. Maybe more. This is where Morris says, Gray's got more yards than me until now.
So ball is at the 8-yard line. 1st and 10 there. And don't forget to tune into Transition. Transition tackles tough issues like racism, poverty, current local problems. Your host, Jeffrey Miller, will guide you through this interesting half hour designed to open your mind. Watch Transition Wednesday and Friday night at 9 on TCI 63.
Current local problems?
Current local problem right now for the Highlanders. They need to stop the Bears.
Did they get the construction finished on Woodward?
And flags fly everywhere on this one as they really don't get this play off. Let's see where we're going to go here with this penalty. Let's go down to the field.
We have a dead ball foul, legal procedure. On the offense, half the distance to the goal, still 1st down.
Let's take a look at the right side of the line here.
Right side over here.
Right
there he is.
there.
Well, you don't like to circle that, but, that's what he did. He moved.
Not often you get to diagram a play like that, Joe, but you did it very well.
I'm proud of it.
And 7:28 left here in the 2nd quarter. 28-0 Berkeley Bears lead, and they have the ball deep in their own territory inside the 5-yard line.
I want to apologize right now to that right guard.
Morris trying to get out of the grass. Fumble.
Watch this.
It's a clean fumble. They did not mark him down.
He wasn't down, and, man, I thought Jeremy Wallstead was going to score a touchdown.
Jeremy Wallstead, had that bounce, taken the right bounce up to him, he could have been gone.
Thought he was gone.
It's funny you see a broken play like that. Let's take a look.
What the heck? I mean, everything else is going that way.
Strung down the line.
All right, you stop.
Spinning.
Fumbles.
You'll lose it right here.
Yeah, I think that's a fumble. That's a good call. And
there to get him was Ryan Chase. Morris limps off the field.
Yeah, he probably just got landed on the back of his leg. He'll be back.
Take a look at the penalty yards there, and the play stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Not much there.
I think that was Bernie Scalzi that time.
So Scalzi on the carry, not much, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and long.
Number 85.
Well, let's see. Kenwan Gray's in the game. Corey Morris is not. Who do you think's getting the ball?
Well, 3rd down and passing now. You think they're going to pass here, or are they going to run?
You run it.
Are they going to punt it away?
You run it. Well, you think
see what they do.
they can get this running. Why take the risk of throwing the
You
ball?
never know. Yeah, you're right. They have Kenwan in there.
Well,
they're going to go.
He's running it.
He looks downfield, takes off himself, and no. Good defensive coverage there. And getting down there quickly outside.
I don't think he was ever going to throw because Doug Fisher was open downfield. I don't think he was ever going to throw the ball.
Dale Goodson, 96. Good pursuit down there, and he got him.
You know what? Why not? Yeah, that's a safe move. You're up 28-0. Your defense is doing a great job. Why risk turning the ball over, doing something dumb, and giving them a 20-yard scoring drive?
4th and 6, and they go to punt. And Corey Morris not hurt that bad, so he'll do the punting.
Turn 95, turn 95.
Trying to draw the offsides. And the block. And the Highlanders can get it. There's a flag on the play.
22, Chris Ramaya, one of the better athletes on this team, got through quick with the block.
And that can turn things around for a team, especially when the ball is this deep on the other end of the field. There is a flag. Let's see what the penalty call is as the refs talk it over. Did they jump off sides? That's a question. There was no snap call. There was no hike call. He did it with his hands, and that might have drawn him off. Let's hear the call down on the field.
We have illegal formation on the kicking team. The penalty is refused. Touchdown.
1st and goal for the Highlanders. Illegal formation.
And that's not a dead ball before the snap type of thing, so you can take the play.
Here's the block.
Watch Ramaya come in. Right there.
Beautiful.
22.
Beautiful block by Ramaya.
And they almost got a touchdown out of it. And it doesn't matter which team recovers it at that point, although the Highlanders do recover.
And the Highlanders getting ready. Their offense getting ready.
Well, maybe that talk about Mercy Road's a little premature.
Yeah, that's right. There you see Ramaya.
The biggest play of the day so far for the Highlanders.
And a great block there by Chris. A great effort.
Senior.
And not giving up.
Cornerback. A good special teams player that last time.
The Bears try to get fancy on a no count and really just trying to snap the ball there right to
Although
Morris.
They must have known something. They must have been aware that Adams team could get in.
Let's take a look. Hey, Pat and Bubba take you on an adventure each edition of Roadshow Video. This month, the guys take you up and down Michigan's main drag for the Woodward Dream Cruise. That's Roadshow Video on Channel 63 right here.
What does this have to do with the Woodward Dream Cruise?
What,
this was
the
last year's
outfits here?
Renaissance Festival promo. Where? Come on, do something in a car.
Well, you know,
Speed
you were
Racer,
on the way
like
here. You were on the Dream Cruise too, up Woodward. I
was on the I-75 Dream
Cruise. Oh, there you go.
God,
there you
took
see
an hour and a half.
Wind blowing steadily, nothing strong, but steadily. Here come the Highlanders looking for their first score of the 96 season, and the handoff goes over to...
Was there a fumble?
No, let's see. John Wolf. Wolf on the carry.
Second down. Have you seen that episode with the Dream Cruise?
No, I haven't.
Very good. Bubba does some memorable things.
I saw a Bubba interview, though. I did see just a part of it where he interviewed one of the guys who played with the Grateful Dead, I think.
Ah, okay.
Some guy who was there and just said he was with some big bands.
I thought Bubba was with the Grateful Dead.
Let's take a look. Here's the yard run by Wolf. John Wolf.
They threw a flag on the ground after the play, long after the play.
This looks like it's going against Berkley. Let's see.
Maybe a late hit or an unsportsmanlike or something like that.
Where would that take you right now?
Well, if it's unsportsmanlike, the yardage, big deal. Half the distance, but it's automatic first down if that's what it is. If it's just any kind of personal foul or anything like that.
Let's see what they get out of this. They do get a first down.
First down, so it is some sort of personal foul.
So it is a personal foul. And they do get the first down. Let's hear the call.
We have illegal participation on the defense. 12 men on the field. Half the distance to the goal line. Repeat, first down.
Well, that's
So
one way to stop
what
them.
they
12
did,
men on the
reason
field.
it took so late is someone from Adams probably said something, and then they went and counted real quick.
right.
So there's 12, penalty.
So a good heads-up play by the Highlanders to get that first down again. So it's first and goal from the 1.
Sneak it.
And they do. Quarterback sneak. Did he get in?
Keep doing it. If you can't sneak in from a yard out on 4 plays, you don't deserve a touchdown.
Velasco in. Touchdown.
Good play.
4:48 left in the second quarter, and the Highlanders get their first points of the board.
All through the first quarter, it's the Bears taking advantage of miscues, turnovers, and such. Now it's Adams creating a Berkley miscue and taking advantage of it, getting on the board finally.
Now the extra point attempt for the Highlanders. It is up. It is very good. Strong leg in that one. By number 5, Anthony Bean.
He's a sophomore. Jim DeJager said this guy's got a leg. He said he's very confident. So, they kind of do this thing with kickers here, and they've always had good kickers.
Yeah.
Chris Watson last year, he's now playing baseball in college. But so what can you do today? And he says, if I get the wind at my back, which it is right now, he says, I can make 45.
Yeah.
A sophomore making 45-yard field goals in high school, that's pretty good.
I think that one 45 on the
Yeah.
extra point.
Oh, yeah.
Just an exclamation point to that touchdown. So a big blocked punt by Chris Ramaya leads to 7 points for the Highlanders, and turnovers help them. Let's take a look at the Oakland Press Perspective with editor Neil Monroe as he hosts a program designed to enlighten you on issues that affect you in Oakland County. The Oakland Press Perspective airs Friday night at 8:30 right here on TCI 63.
Maybe he can get the construction finished on Woodward.
He might be the one to talk to.
The guy.
He's got a lot of clout. It'll be
They should get him on Roadshow
Andy
Video.
Anthony B. Excuse me?
They should get that guy on Roadshow Video with Bubba. I think he and Bubba would be a pretty
Would be an interesting matchup.
match of intellects.
Anthony Bean will kick off again. Corey Morris is deep along with Kemwan Gray to receive. That would be interesting. Bubba Wicker interviews Neil Monroe. That would be great on the next Roadshow Video.
And Neil Monroe has Bubba on Oakland Press Perspective to even it out.
Look at that kick into the end zone easily, and you're right. I tell you, he can boot it tonight.
Remember, he's
given
only
the
a sophomore.
chance.
Only a sophomore. He's got a little wind at his back, but still, what a great kick.
Great kick by Anthony Bean to get the Berkley Bears deep in their own territory. Clock stops now until they start the play, and refs were emphatic down on the field to make sure that clock stopped.
We're at 4:34, the second half. Normally by now we'd be into the third quarter. And there's your
Drive, one play, 3 yards, 25 seconds off the clock, although I think
well, yeah,
they
because
started
illegal participation on that other play doesn't count as a play.
Right.
So a 1-yard run or whatever becomes.
Clock will be reset now. Again, the referee talking down there to Jim DeJager about the clock having to be stopped.
At this point, let's thank the OAA at least for starting the games at 7.
Yeah. Although tonight's didn't.
Well, it started at 7:10. It's still not 7:30. Imagine what it would have been.
Here we go. Berkley Bears on the offense again. Fakes the handoff, back to pass. Jeremy Wallstead gets it out to Corey Morris. Morris with a first down and more outside the 30-yard line. Well, they're back at it again, this time through the air. And Morris has done that a couple of times tonight and been successful for about 9 or 10 yards.
Well, they've run it so much, I think that the Adams defense has kind of tightened up. And if you can spread them out a little bit, you can hit another one of those reverses or a counter or something and just get a long play. There's
the key was Morris springing from that first tackler and getting the first down. And the ball at about the 31, 32-yard line. First and 10 for the Bears.
Well, see, we kind of probably run some sort of counter here.
Here's Morris, and a great penetration in there that slowed him down by number 55.
Oh, they got a flag late, too.
Glenn Porcho in there.
Along with Nathaniel Farley, he got in there real quick, too, but there was a flag at the end of the play, and, well, that could be the kind that you get piling on.
Let's take a look. Here's Morris. There's Porcho getting in there first, slows him down, everybody else gets in
on the
there.
defense, late hit, 15 yards from the end of the run.
Late hit, that's what I thought. Guys jumped on.
That was Farley, excuse me.
And you heard the official say personal foul, late hit, and that's one of those, great, we finally stopped this guy. Let's everybody get in on it. And somebody jumped on the pile late and got a late hit penalty.
Let's take a look at one more time.
All right, here's Corey Morris. There's the first hit.
Farley.
Slows him up, and no knee hits yet. He's still up. Now here, got him wrapped up. A couple guys got him wrapped up. Now he's down. There's a whistle.
Down here, and now
there's a hit.
That's Farley coming in, yeah.
Well, 96 jumps on. Here's 62. There's a couple guys. I don't know which one they called, but there was a few guys that you could have called it on. Again, that's not dirty. That was more just exuberance that we've stopped this guy. Scalzi almost
Look
broke.
at this. Nice run by Scalzi. Gets hit at the line of scrimmage and then bounces outside to the right for the first down.
Hey, remember, that was one of those weird situations because of the loss of yardage and then the automatic or the replay of a personal foul. It was first down and something like 4. It was one of those goofy things. So now it is a first down and 10.
First down, and they managed to give Glenn Porcho a little bit of credit too there where he didn't deserve. And really, it was Farley. Not Chris Farley, your favorite actor.
My favorite actor.
Nathaniel Farley.
Yeah, he was robbed at the Academy Awards. Tommy.
Ball at the 45. Handoff goes to the first man through, and the Highlanders stack him up there. Corey Morris on the carry.
Corey Morris.
The way it's going for the Bears, they'll be able to mount a drive and score as the half ends and do everything right.
Second down, about 9 coming up now for the Bears. 3:52 and counting down here in the second quarter.
And this tends to be the way they start out the season every year. They come out with big victories early on, and then later in the year, things get a little tight for them. And interesting to see if they can maintain it. Now they've got guys that have got several years of big game experience. This maybe it'll be the thing to get them over that final hump.
The blitz, and tripped up is Gray at the line of scrimmage.
Again, that play hasn't worked real well. They got the one touchdown early with it, but since then, Highlanders have stopped it. Again, Highlanders run the same offense. They know these plays. With Gray, it's worked a lot more, taking him all the way around the outside. He hasn't been getting through and getting any big yardage.
You saw Chris Wesley trying to time his blitz in there and ran into the line of scrimmage, had to hold up, but he was lucky that he didn't get the offside call, or the encroachment. Encroachment. Taking the handoff, Wesley, or Wallstead trying to dump it out there to number 9, Scalzi.
And once again, I thought Hennessy might have had a step on his man. It would have been a tough throw to make, but that's something I'd like to see them come back and try it later on. Let him just go deep and just send one deep. Let's see if Wallstead can do it.
And a punting down again for the Berkley Bears. Last time we saw the blocked punt. .244 left here in the first half. Corey Morris back to punt. There's a snap. They're going for it again.
Why not?
Taken. And down at about the 38-yard line. Nice return by Baginski again.
Good return by Baginski. Got them good field position. There's not many 3-yard touchdown drive here. They're going to have to establish something, and they've only got 2.5 minutes to do it. Now here's a situation where the new rule comes into their advantage. See Kenwan and Gray closing in on 100 yards already. Last year, the clock would already be moving on Adams. Now they can relax, huddle on the sideline like they did, come out, get everybody set up. You don't have to hurry because you're losing time at the start of your drive. They can have a couple of plays called right now and try to get the drive going.
Velasco handing off to Wesley. Wesley trying to bounce it outside, and good coverage down there. Looked like number 4 Foley, Jason Foley, out there on the tackle.
Flag on the play.
And going on the offense. So the Highlanders getting a tough start already. Let's go down and hear the call.
Rochester 9.
Now the clock does start after penalties.
With holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
That's a big penalty, that holding penalty. Knocks you back 10 yards.
From the spot of the foul, so it can be more. This time it is 1st and 20. But again, the ref is going to blow down and get the clock going now. So the clock still starts after penalties unless they're personal fouls or delay of games.
So a good shot there. It could have been the holding call there. There Velasco takes it all the way himself on a bootleg and trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage and bounced out of bounds there. Bounced out of bounds by Gray.
I was going to say, he had a step on the guy and he had the corner, but again, he's trying to take the corner from Kenwan Gray, and he's just not going to do
that.
No, you can do that next week. But
not today with some fast runners out there. Some great athletes. 2nd and 12 coming up now. And another passing and long down.
And came out of bounds, so at least he stopped the clock.
Velasco to Wesley, the second man through, and meeting him right there was number 9, Ernie Scalzi.
Ernie Scalzi almost took the handoff. Coach said hand it off to 9. He almost did. Wow. Nobody blocked him.
Number 9 meet number 9. Here we go.
Let's see where he is. Right here. There's number 9 coming through. Scalzi, and boom. Actually lined up the defensive tackle and flew through there.
And there's just too many men down there for the offensive line to block when he does that.
They're just too quick.
Yeah. Velasco drops back deep, gets the pressure, unloads, and out of bounds. Intended down there.
Well,
yeah, it looked like it was going for 30 or 81. I don't know who
I think he saw 81, Bingham, and thought he would cut it off, and the ball might have slipped out of his hands because all of a sudden Wallstedt on the coverage cut short. So it looks like Bingham's open deep. He wasn't really open deep. Wallstedt read the ball.
He was getting pressured down there by Greg Hadfield. Hadfield had a beat on him, and he could feel him coming in.
Yeah, the play just wasn't there. That would have been a great throw to have gotten it in there.
David Wallstedt back to receive the punt. And he loses it. Who's got it? Highlanders.
He can't advance it. The minute he gets it, it's down, so it's their ball right there.
Highlanders get it at the 36-yard line of the Berkley Bears.
Well, turnovers have been the name of the game today. Now you've got a minute 37 seconds to go 35 yards, 36 yards, and get a touchdown. And get this into a manageable deficit, 28-14. Manageable deficit. I sound like I'm running for office, don't I?
Let's take a look. And this hits the shoulder pad, and that's why it just bounces off.
Yeah, he misjudged it. He just misjudged it and tried to catch it high, and he just can't catch it like that.
David Wallstedt loses it, and coming in here now, the ball is still loose, and now
again, it's not a fumble, it's a muff, so you can't advance it. So the minute that ball got recovered there, and that was
Matt Fox, not Pat Fox, that was Matt Fox.
Matt Fox
on the Highlanders. The Highlanders call timeout before they call their next play. 1:37 left on the clock, and they need to get the drive going, so they call the timeout here. Let's take a look as it hits. Now it hits that plastic off the shoulder pad, and that's what makes it bounce off so hard.
I was going to say, I'll tell you what, you try to catch that without shoulder pads, and you're not at that angle.
Yeah.
That's a tough way to catch. I think he just had to misjudge. Remember, the wind is with that punt, so the wind might have taken it farther than he thought.
Yep. Ball loose, and then Matt Fox comes in here and can't advance it, but he does get possession.
Adams Highlanders cheerleaders are coached by Wendy Rocha and Lisa Mars.
We got 2 more timeouts, Jim.
Time left on the clock, 1:37 here in the second quarter.
That's a long timeout.
And now the Highlanders.
They must have lengthened the length of timeouts, too.
They probably had seconds onto that.
You know what it is? It's the concession people that are behind this. They said, we need longer games, we need more sales. You know, it's working. And it's hot out, so people are buying stuff.
Let's take a look. Velasco back to pass, gets pressured immediately, and now Corey Morris after him. But look out! Velasco's got room to run, picks up the first down, and mainly get out of bounds. And he does at about the 15-yard line.
Oh, everything about that play was perfect. Kenwan Gray covering the other side of the field. He's not coming over. You got Corey Morris rushing you, and once you get past him, you're just dealing with the other guys. And right here's Corey Morris. All right, now he's gone, so now you're dealing with other people. And, man, I mean, that looks like the play that Berkley ran early in the first quarter with Wallstad. Roll it out and let the quarterback take off because all the D-backs dropped into coverage.
Yeah, you see the turnovers. Adams with 2, Berkley with 1, and now the Highlanders trying to capitalize on that one. Flag on the play and a penalty coming up. 1:04 left on the clock.
And not included in that turnover stat, that was the block punt.
Yeah, that's great. See if we can get the call here.
We have a dead ball foul, encroachment on the defense, lining up in the neutral zone. Still first down, 5-yard penalty.
Again,
First and 5, great situation.
Point this out. Unlike college and the pros where you can go over the line of scrimmage or line up in the neutral zone and come back, once you're over and it's done. So that's why there's no offsides. You can't come off and come back. You encroach, whistle blows, penalty.
The Bears trying to get every inch of advantage they could get. That time cost them.
Clock is running in it. Well, yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be off of an offsides penalty, or encroachment. Yeah, it should be.
Now they stop the clock, and they can do that now, which really helps out the offense. So 40 seconds left on the clock.
Wait,
ball is at about the 10-yard line.
Didn't that last long run, though, go out of bounds?
Yeah.
Then the clock shouldn't have started. The refs,
I don't know why they started after.
I don't think.
After a penalty, why would you?
No, it does after a penalty.
Okay.
It does. But if the last play had been out of bounds, I don't think it does start.
It's a question we can bring up to.
We got to call our Lyle Sanderson about that.
Lyle Sanderson.
Yeah,
Velasco back to throw, getting pressured, unleashes in the end zone, touchdown.
Doesn't matter now.
Number 81 net, Bingham. A 10-yard pass from Velasco to Nat Bingham, and that was right on the money, Joe, and a bullet.
Oh, great play, just right over the middle, deep slant pattern. Almost a post route here, just gets it, easy touchdown, beat his man deep.
So Nat Bingham from Velasco.
I'll tell you what, right now, Adams got to be kicking themselves over the 2 touchdowns they gave up because of turnovers. Other than that, although, I mean, they're taking advantage of it too, but it's definitely a different ballgame than it was at the end of the first quarter.
It sure is. Anthony Bean puts it through. Another exclamation point. It's 28-14 now. And you talk about 2 different quarters.
Yeah, and remember, Berkeley's only got 1 timeout left because they burned 2 of them early in their first drive.
3 plays, 36 yards, 1:01 off the clock, and a 10-yard pass to Bingham. Picks up the valuable 7 points they need, and they are right back in this one. The Highlanders have halftime to regroup and make adjustments.
Well, we know where this kick's going, through the end zone.
Yeah. We'll look for a return here if they can help it.
Now, here's another situation where that new rule changes maybe your strategy. Last year, when you had the clock starting, once the ball got set, you wouldn't want to kick it through the end zone. You'd want to make them return it so that when the ball got placed, the clock would keep running. Now there's no point, so you do kick it through to pin them deep on the 20.
Yeah. So some changes do come into play with that clock rule. You have to adjust your play and use it accordingly.
It's a much fairer
use it to
rule.
help you. Yeah.
It's a fairer rule.
Bean gets his leg into this one. And about a yard in the end zone and no return.
Kenwan Gray realized it, and another rule, if you don't know about in high school, he can't run that out.
Right.
If he were to go back and catch it, he can't run it out. Once the ball crosses the goal line, it's done.
So the Bears will start at the 20-yard line with 31 seconds left on the clock. And a whole new complexion to this game after the turnover by the Berkley Bears.
Interesting. Now, I think just the nature of Berkley would be, what the heck, go for it. See what you can do here. But I don't know if that formation, well, that's the same formation they always run. And let's see what they do. With only one timeout left, maybe you don't get too crazy here. Lord knows a mistake here would kill him.
Yeah, so see how Pat Fox plays this. Stay on the ground. Corey Morris bounces outside. Look out. Corey Morris driven out of bounds at about the 35 by number 7, Gillespie.
I'll tell you what, he gets a little better block from his receiver. You never know what he might do. Hennessy made the block, but he didn't sustain it, and I think that allowed. Take a look here. As Morris is going to come left, you're going to see Hennessy come up on your left with a little bit of a block, but he allows the guy to get behind him, and then little Walter Payton there, right in the head. And another one.
Tries another one.
Yeah, be careful not to get a face mask and call when you do that.
Yeah. Could get tangled up in there. It could have hurt you.
Accidentally, yeah. I mean, you can accidentally get a face mask.
24 seconds left on the clock. Hand off up the middle to Corey Morris. Nothing there.
Now, they don't have to run another play if they don't want to. They only have one timeout left. And we'll see right now if Berkeley's content to go in up 28-14. I think they are. Yeah, they are. Pat Fox walking off the field, where he was.
Yep.
Took his headset off. And that's it.
And that'll do it for the first half here at Rochester Adams High School. The Highlanders not giving up after a 28-0 lead. The Highlanders have answered with 2 straight scores, and they have tightened the gap 28-14 here at halftime. So we will see what the Highlanders can do to regroup against the tough Berkley Bears and that powerful offense they have.
I'll tell you, a team right now that's got to regroup is Berkley.
Yeah.
You have 28-0, and you're thinking mercy roll. We're thinking mercy roll. And all of a sudden, you're thinking hold on and don't blow it.
Well, what's happened to us now?
The momentum has
given
changed.
Up 2 straight touchdowns.
Absolutely.
There's your score at halftime. The Berkley Bears 28, the Adams Highlanders 14. We'll be back at halftime right after these messages. Stay with us.
I wrote a letter to TCI because of the kind service and the kindness that was given to me when we needed service. I'm a district manager for Family Dollar stores here in Detroit and Pontiac. And being a district manager over 16 stores, it's important for us to maintain good customer service day in and day out. If you don't give good service to customers, you don't maintain good service, you don't maintain a good company. And TCI, in my book, has certainly represented customer service to the nth degree.
On the Master Anglers, we bring you the hottest fishing action around the state of Michigan. From tips and techniques to advice and stories from the pros, the Master Anglers gives you the info you need to catch the big ones. Plus, it's just plain fun. That's the Master Anglers, Thursday nights at 8 on TCI Channel 63.
The TCI Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Modernistic Carpet Cleaning, Comet Burgers in Royal Oak. Mention TCI Sports to get a free Comet Burger. And by Mike's Market Share Coupon Books. And welcome back to Rochester Adams High School, where the Highlanders trail 28-14. But have scored the last 2 touchdowns to make it a little bit more interesting, Joe. And let's give you a recap of all the scoring. Corey Morris scores here back in the first quarter with 7:29 left on the clock on a 1-yard plunge to make it 7-0. Extra point was good.
Capitalizing on the first turnover that Adams had committed.
Then Wallstead passes to Morris on this 32-yard pass play. The extra point was good, and the Berkley Bears led 14-0 with 5:48 left in the first quarter.
Again, after a turnover, and it was a 1-play drive.
Again, in the first quarter, 20 yards, and this is Kenwan Gray with his first touchdown of the night. And the extra point was good there, 21-0. The Berkley Bears led with 3:40 left in the first quarter. And Kenwan Gray with his first touchdown there. Then now we pick up the action in the second quarter. 8:55 left in the second quarter. This 53-yard Kenwan Gray run as he takes the reverse from Corey Morris and goes 53 yards. The extra point was good, and the Berkley Bears were on their way to a rout, 28-0 here, and that was a key move right there, Joe.
Prime time.
Sprung him into the end zone, and Kenwan Gray with his second touchdown of the night. Then Adams comes back with this block punt off Corey Morris. Morris takes his time, and there you see the block there.
Christopher Maya got in there real quick.
And that got the ball at the 1-yard line. Velasco took it in on a 1-yard plunge with 4:48 left in the second quarter, and it made it 28-7 with the good extra point. And now back to receive was Dave Wallstead. He loses it here, and flying in quickly to get it was number 95, Matt Fox, which led to this 10-yard Velasco to Bingham touchdown pass. And he threw a nice pass in there over the defender, Wallstead. And a nice catch by Bingham sliding. The extra point was good. And that, with 36 seconds left, made it a 28-14 game. That's where we stand.
And again, it was two special teams breakdowns by Berkley that got Adams back in the game. And I mean, you can see the yards, the numbers are ridiculously in Berkley's favor. But time of possession is dead even. And momentum is definitely shifted to Adams. Now we know Berkley's got the kind of offense that can
bring it right back. And a key point that our statistician Ken Phillips brought up, it's only 3 plays that really separate that big yardage as you take a look.
Well, separate it to a point. Half their yards are on 3 big plays. Take those off and they're still up 110-44.
They're up, yeah.
They're still double what Adams is. But this ridiculous number comes from 3 plays. The long touchdown by Gray, the 32-yard pass play to Morris, and the first play of the game when the quarterback gained 25 yards on a run.
Okay, those are the halftime stats for you and the recap so far. We'll be back with the second half action and the kickoff right after these messages. Stay with us.
Rumor has it, Comet Burgers is definitely the place to be seen in downtown Royal Oak. After the party, out for dinner, just looking for cold soft drinks, great burgers and fries, milkshakes or pizzas. Comet Burgers is the place to run into just about anybody.
Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Even old what's-his-name. Comet Burgers, they're out of this world.
And welcome back again to Adams High School here in Rochester, where the Berkley Bears lead the Adams Highlanders 28-14 here at halftime. And it was all Berkley, 28-0, but the Highlanders have come back with 2 scores, 14-28, and they have done it and capitalized on mistakes. There you see the quarterback, Velasco, working on his calf there. It looks like he's getting leg cramps. Velasco, 1 of 6 for 10 yards.
That one was a touchdown pass, and I can imagine a lot of guys might be cramping up. It's hot, it's humid. It's kind of weather that happens in. And, he's made a couple, aside from the pass play, he made a couple big runs, especially on the touchdown drive. He made a long run on a scramble. He doesn't have great passing numbers, but he's done a solid job of directing the offense. Only one bad mistake, which was the interception early.
On the other side, Jeremy Wallstead, with 3 of 4 for 52 yards.
And he's got 1 touchdown as well.
And he's got
Morris.
1 touchdown to Morris. So the 2 quarterbacks, as you can see, Velasco on his carries, 8 carries, 32 yards for Velasco.
We're not sure how many yards he lost on sack yardage, so that's pretty good numbers for a quarterback. Usually a quarterback's in negative rushing yardage.
And we are about to get the second half underway here at Adams High School.
And I would guess that Pat Fox told the Bears to score early. Just run it back if you can, but do something. Well, whatever they're going to do, they're going to do it over because somebody was probably offsides on the kickoff or encroached or whatever, but they're going to re-kick.
Let's hear the call.
We have a kick infraction on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick on the 35.
That's what it is. I mean, I didn't know
it's funny that happened when we had our meeting.
Yeah.
With Lyle, I said, how strictly is that enforced? Because usually if you watch the
every play,
these guys are seem like they're running off sides before the kicker kicks it, but this time, hey, they caught somebody.
Yeah, and he kind of acknowledged it. Yeah, they are on every play, but you kind of go a little loose unless it's obvious. This one must have been obvious. But again, we just heard the Adams coaches say, hey, you might want to consider kicking it away from Morris. And I'm telling you, it seemed last year him or his brother, when they really wanted to, they could run one back. And I tell you don't want to give Berkley momentum early in the second half, because then he will be done.
It's Morris and Gray back to receive. Kicking into the wind is Bean, and he'll kick it short at the 20. Morris knocks it down. He'll pick it up, and he'll get some good yardage. Had a little bit of an opening, and then it closed up on him at about the 30. And they'll get out to about the 32-yard line. First and 10 there.
Didn't get a chance to turn on the afterburners, and again, the big special teams player of the night for Adams, Ramaya, comes up with the tackle there. Keeps him from getting any kind of big return, and Bears have to start out deep in their own territory around the 31-yard line.
There's Gray's yardage, 8 carries, 90 yards total. And a big night for Kenwan Gray so far. Great backfield of Kenwan Gray and Corey Morris. The handoff goes to Morris. Morris going straight ahead for a pretty good gain of about 5 yards.
They're going to Morris a little earlier in the second half than they did in the first. Maybe you do want to use him a little more on offense. He had to make some plays on defense, but he hasn't touched the ball a whole lot. Maybe it's nice to save him. It's nice to use him as a decoy and all that, but you don't want to leave anything in the bag. Might as well use it all. And you don't have the cushion that you had, a little while ago.
There's Morris, 10 receptions for 23 yards. So he's receiving the ball. It should be carry.
The quarterback's got 3 completions.
Has not thrown that many times. Third down coming up now for the Bears.
Corey Morris stopped after no gain by number 52, Chris Martino.
Third and about 5 now.
But I saw that the Adams backup quarterback warming up, but he's warming up the starting quarterback, so I thought they're not making a change, are they?
There we go. There's the update. 10 carries, 23 yards, so not as good as average as Gray. They give it to Gray, takes it outside.
Good block.
Gray
they got him.
with a penalty flag, and Gray is going to be hauled down from behind. And a great effort there to get him from behind as Baginski catches up with him.
Doesn't matter. They should have let him go, wear himself out. It's coming back.
So the penalty will bring it back.
Oh, watch this. Take a look. You're going to see, and I think it is 78. It's either him or 84 right here. There's a hold. They called the tackle. It's a tackle. It's not a hold. It's a tackle. And the minute it happened, the official threw the flag.
Well, that sprung him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Let's see the call.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, third down.
That's from the spot of the foul, so that'll knock him back. Actually, third and about.
Yeah. And again, in an ideal world
14.
for Adams, an ideal world for Rochester Adams, they'd have let him go, let him wear himself out. But they didn't know.
Let's see if we can see it again.
Watch right here.
There it is. Yeah, he just basically threw him down.
Yeah, he tackled him. Hands were outside the shoulder pads.
Third and 14. And off to Corey Morris. Nothing there as they stack him up.
Tell you what, you got a fourth down. If you get another block punt, right here, you're. There's no momentum right now for Berkley, because even when they get that big play, it comes back.
You see Gray going off. Morris having a frustrating night so far.
Frustrating on offense.
On the offense, yeah.
He's dominated defensively.
Yeah.
Understand this too. His brother. They compare the two of them. His brother's a tailback, and he played linebacker as well. But offensively, his brother's a tailback. This guy's a fullback. You don't get those big numbers.
Baginski back to receive. Corey Morris to punt. Seems like the snapper is snapping it at his own pace, and it's blocked again. And the Highlanders get it in Berkley territory at about the 48-yard line. And it was number 22 on the block, and it was Ramaya again.
Yeah,
and what a great job.
Along with Ryan Chase, and they're the same two guys that are getting in on every play. And
let's take a look.
Let's see which one of them actually touches. I think it is Ramaya again. Well, he takes a couple steps there too. That's you're giving a lot of time to get in.
Yep.
Here's Chase. Now, does he get it?
Nope, it was Ramaya right at the end
Ramaya
there.
at the end. So it's two guys, though, that are right on.
Yep. Back to the action. Stacked up. Off tackle there was Wesley. And a good tackle. 42 and 32 both there for the Berkley Bears. And that was Samut and Dombrowski.
And you're probably going to have to throw the ball for the Highlanders. I don't think that, they're going to establish a sustained drive on the ground. Their two scoring drives have been short drives. And again, if they do it here, it's going to be another one less than 50 yards.
Yeah, they don't want to turn it over, but got to get some smart offensive calls here now. Second and long. Back to pass. Velasco has time, has plenty of time. Unloads deep, but nobody out there. And I think some mix-up on the communication on the pass play.
Yeah, it was Lee Ritter he was looking for, and Ritter cut the route, and Velasco wanted him to keep going.
Yeah.
And it happened to happen simultaneously that Ritter cut it. Velasco saw him, and he threw it deep, and at which point Ritter saw what happened, but he couldn't catch up with the ball.
So Ritter trying to make an adjustment, but the ball was already in the air, and it brings up a third and long again. 8:38 here in the third quarter. Handoff. They try to run it off tackle and stacked up. Corey Morris came from behind to get on top of him. And the run by Sable. Not much there, and it's fourth and punting down for the Highlanders. Well, they had great field position, Joe, but they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, Berkley defense, their offense might not be doing it, but their defense has kept it going throughout the game. Looks like they got a block on.
And Sable to do the punting. Sable, yeah, they tried to go for it. Gets it off and lands right in front of Wallstead. He wanted to catch it, but it took a short route. I guess it just dropped right in front of him. It took a big bounce, and there's no way he was going to get to
Well, if the punt going the other way had the wind at its back, that one had the wind holding it up. Maybe, again, it's deceiving him a little bit, but boy, the last thing he wants to do is muff another punt return.
Now he comes up, and he said, whoa, well, I better not catch it. Yeah.
Now he's just, please don't touch me.
Yeah. So he was actually lucky that it didn't touch him and took a bounce back toward the Highlanders. Ball at the 22, first and 10 for the Berkley Bears. They haven't been able to do much offensively either. Alston handing off tackle, and stacked up and nothing there. As we see again, the Highlanders stacking up the Berkley runners. That time
both defenses.
It was Kenwan Gray. Let's listen into that run. A lot of crunching going on, and that time it paid off for the Highlanders as they stack up the leading rusher so far, Kenwan Gray, for only a couple yards. Second and 8. Wallstead takes it. Good job on hiding the ball. Nobody in the defense saw him.
Ramaya's going to get him.
Ramaya angling and finally gets him out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. A tremendous run.
Everybody followed Corey Morris.
From the 24-yard line all the way down to about inside the 15.
Again, we showed you Corey Morris's rushing stats. They don't tell you the effect he's having for the offense. Corey Morris sets this up. The quarterback does a great job of running it. That's because the linebackers all converged in to stop the big bruising fullback, and that lets this guy go for all these yards. And it takes Chris Ramaya, a really quick defensive back, to come from the other side of the field and make the play.
So that's what Corey Morris can do for you. And there is Jeremy Wallstead, 6 carry for 57 yards.
More than half of it on that one.
Big yardage on that one. The dive to Morris, and the Highlanders stack him up at the line of scrimmage again. Gain of maybe a yard. Second down and 9 coming up now for the Bears. So it's been big plays so far tonight that have helped the Bears, and that has sprung them on to some touchdowns.
But that is the Berkley offense.
Yeah.
It's a big play offense. They're not known for grind it out.
Yeah.
Take 10 minutes off the clock.
Drives,
They're known for athletic stuff, big plays, and the defense creating things, and that's what's been happening.
In motion is Gray. They tried to pitch it to Gray, and he just barely got it. He had his knee down, and the ref was right there to see him.
3rd and 14 is
So a loss on the play for the Bears as the Highlanders had it covered well. Wallstead was wrapped up and couldn't even get that pitch off, and I don't know why he just didn't fall on it.
Well,
but
I think
he saw
he was going to
Gray
fumble
open.
if he didn't.
Let's
Take a look at this. I think he's going to fumble if he doesn't pitch right here.
Yeah?
Well,
yeah.
I think he might have just fumbled it too. That's
he
just good
put something
defense
behind it. And there, let's
right
see.
here.
He's
You're
down right there. Good call down there by the official, right on top of the play. And it brings up a...
Now, last time they were down in this situation, Hennessy number 27 was open. Let's see if they try to throw it.
Stacking up Gray, and they read that one beautifully as they knock him back even further, and a 4th down coming up.
Well, the general rule of thumb is a reverse works once. You know?
Yeah.
You know, you think they're going to fall for this twice. This is not a dumb football team or a poorly coached football team. These guys know what's coming.
There's Corey Morris. There's the double reverse. And nothing there. They read that one beautifully. Fox there to finally wrap him up.
I mean, they're just saying, hey, yeah, you can get us once on it. You're not doing it twice. And they're going to try the field goal here. 43-yard field goal attempt. Wind at their back.
Yeah. And he can boom them.
Let's see now. Let's see if he's got the kind of leg that the Adams kicker has.
Anthony Bean gets it up. And wide, but he had the distance, but it just went to the left. Or correction, that wasn't Anthony. That was Kunkel, excuse me.
Yep.
Looking the other way.
Wide left.
We were talking about Anthony Bean kicking that distance before, but that was Kunkel. Kunkel had the distance.
Oh, yeah, again, you know, you got the wind, and, you know, if you just play it out right, it's kind of like your pitching wedge. Play it out right, let it hook in.
That's the master angler there. He's back again with another season of great programs. Join Mark Gomez as he takes you on the waters of Michigan with the master anglers. He and his guests will give you the advice you need to reel in a fish just like this one he's got.
He needs a new watch. That thing is ugly.
That's the master anglers Thursday at 8 on TCI 63. And the Highlanders have one of their better plays right there. And a nice run right there by Buzik. Mike Buzik comes in and picks up a nice carry.
First down. That's a good way to start the series.
Off tackle. Let's take a look.
That's a big stop, though, for the Adams defense. It gives the offense a chance to get this thing within a touchdown once again. A good run there by Buzik. And every time you think Berkley might just put it away and be able to relax a little bit, Adams comes up with a play defensively to prevent the score from getting any worse.
Ooh, wrapped up quickly was Velasco. He didn't even get a chance to get the handoff away, and getting in there quickly was number 9, Scalzi. Ernie Scalzi doing a great job both offensively and defensively. And look who's limping off the field.
Corey Morris.
That's not a
cramp.
he is not doing too well.
That's an ankle or a knee, the way he's coming off, and he's going to be out for a little bit. And Berkley's going to call a timeout because of it. And you see Corey Morris sitting down back there, and Berkley again using a timeout early on in the half. But this one you can understand, you've just lost your best player.
Jim DeJager with his team on the sideline. He's got the Berkley Bears stopped. They haven't scored in quite a while. The Berkley Bears will have to come up with a big offense next week against the Clarkson Wolves, and more importantly, a strong defense against that very powerful team.
Defense is going to have to be there. They're going to have a pass rush. You're facing next week the best quarterback in the state of Michigan.
It'll be next Saturday and Monday at 8 p.m. Let's take a look at the last play. Velasco couldn't even get this handoff away as the penetration.
Scalzi again, just that's
quick penetration.
3 or 4 times today that guy's gotten through.
Yeah, right through the middle.
Yeah. Man,
and there's no one there to pick him up. And that's the thing. They're just overloading the linemen.
He's 178 pounds. He's playing on the defensive line. He's 5'11", but he's so quick that you can't stop him. Yeah, somewhere behind these guys, there's a guy here and this guy here.
You see his knee pad right there.
Yeah, there's Corey Morris back there.
Looks like it might have been a cramp, and that's all we hope it was.
Boy, it sure looked a lot worse the way he was limping.
But hey, when you get those, they hurt just like as bad as breaking an ankle. Second down and 13. Handoff up the middle. And again, that was number 45, Buzek on the carry.
Yeah, if you want, Ken Phillips just gave us something. If you want to compare, Berkley's 4 longest plays are 53, 42, 41, 32 yards. 167 yards in their 4 longest. Berkley's 11, 11, 10, and 10. That's 42 yards in their 4 longest. One of the differences is, first thing you say is, well, Berkley's quicker offensively. Berkley's quicker defensively. There's a player where Buzek gets through, and so the linemen don't get him. Their linebackers are so quick that they just, okay, fine, you gain 4 yards. That's nice, but you're not getting a ton on us.
Velasco pressured and sacked. And getting him that time.
You never had a chance.
In there both. 32 and 42 for.
I'll tell you what, Kenwan Gray was back there too. They had everybody. Take a look at this. He hasn't got time. Remember, he's a lefty. He's got a turn set up, and at this point, it's over. There's 14 tackling him. There's 2.
It was Hatfield, 44, who got his legs wrapped up and finally got him down. But
Bill Walters was in there. Hey, they're so quick, though. He never has a chance to set anything up.
Sable gets the punt away. High bounce, and the Highlanders will down it at about the 41-yard line. And the Berkley Bears with great field position in Adams territory.
And one thing we've noticed tonight, when the Bears get the ball in Adams territory to start a drive, they score. So the Adams defense has to come up with another big stop here. They've got to, realistically, they've got to score. They've got to get the ball and take it and give the offense a situation where they only have to come up with one. At least come up with a turnover, though.
And
Make
there
a
you
big
see
play.
Corey Morris still limping on the sideline. They're going to take a look at this.
You don't take the shoes and socks off for a cramp.
It might
That's
be
an ankle or a knee.
Let's hope not. In motion goes Wallstead. And taking it is Jeremy Wallstead again. Breaks into the backfield. And a first down and more inside the 25-yard line to about the 24.
Jeremy Wallstead, brought down by number 52, Chris
Take a
look at Wallstead.
David Wallstead is in motion to his left, but he takes it himself, fakes out and goes up.
And this is kind of impressive because now you don't have Corey Morris there as the threat that that all the defense converges on here. Tell you what, other than Morris and Kenwan Gray, this guy's been gaining all the yards. I think now you got to make it a point to stop him.
Yep. First and 10, ball on the 24-yard line.
Tell you what, the Berkley offense, when they do start a drive on this side of the 50, they run it a little different.
Ray trying to bounce it outside. Good pursuit out there. Fox trying to drag him down and then finally gets help from number 56 out there, and that is Farley. And also
Dale Goodson. Goodson just whipped him around.
Is that Goodson on the tackle rather than Fox? Excuse me?
96.
Yeah. There he is. That's right.
Just take a look at him, whip him around.
And now
let everybody else get in on it too. And there's Barbudo. We haven't said a lot lately, but again, he's the anchor of that defense and getting in on all the hits. Now see if they go to the play I've been waiting for. Hennessy split out left. Now they're going to call another timeout. You got Hennessy split out left, and he's got a shorter guy on him. Throw to him. Run a post pattern.
Timeout called by the Berkley Bears. Just under 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. 28-14 your score. 1:59 left in the third quarter. And a second down and 14-15 coming up.
Well, and again, I think Berkley, they feel pretty confident anyway, but they know that if you can get a touchdown here, it's hard to score 21 points in a quarter. And especially when you're not an explosive offense. They can put Adams in a big hole right now.
Don't forget to tune in to Transition as it tackles tough issues like racism, poverty, current local problems. Your host, Jeffrey Miller, is the program host in this interesting half hour designed to open your mind. Watch Transition Wednesday, Friday at 9 right here on TCI 63. There you see Jim DeJager telling his defense to suck it up and get tough here as they have knocked him back. And Pat Fox on the far sideline, his team up by 2 touchdowns. They were up 28-0 at one point, and then 2 unanswered touchdowns by the Highlanders brought them back to 28-14. Looked like the Bears were going to run away with it early. Wallstedt rolls out again, rolls out deep, looking downfield, and a good defensive play.
Oh my God, I thought he caught that.
By Ryan Chase.
I thought he caught that.
In there.
When he
right in
came
midair,
up,
yeah.
He was trying to throw short. He had
I hope he's not
deep
hurt
downfield.
now. Chase not getting up.
He had Doug Fisher open way downfield. But, oh my gosh, I thought he picked it off in midair like that. Now he's not.
Great effort to block this pass. Wide open. He had a receiver wide open down there.
Well, he wasn't thrown to the guy that was wide open, though. I think he was going to go short. He didn't really step into it like he was firing it.
Yeah, then he had two receivers short, because that's who I was looking at.
Okay, he had a guy deep. He had a guy way deep.
I was looking at the short receiver. Let's take a look at Chase here.
All right.
Coming in right now. Good timing.
Here he is. And he did bat it, man. I thought he caught it. That's cramps.
Yeah. It's a hot, muggy night, and you're going to get that early in the season, and those leg cramps will definitely be a nagging problem for a lot of these players tonight. 1:52 left in the third quarter. It'll be a 3rd down and 14 when we resume action.
Now, those guys that said that this new rule was going to add 10 or 15 minutes to a game, a little underestimated the effect. I mean, I like the rule, but it's going to make it a college-length game.
And those things drag out, those college games.
Oh, yeah.
A chance to...
Especially when it's like a Notre Dame Vanderbilt game.
Well, good thing we don't have TV timeouts.
But if Jim Jenick keeps selling, we're gonna.
Jim who? Jim Zanuck, you mean?
Is that who sold? That's what I said.
Oh.
Yeah, if he keeps selling, we're gonna have TV time. We'll control this whole deal. We already got the ref guy.
We could do.
Yeah, we got the head of the refs in our pocket, man. We'll set that up.
Ryan Chase getting up now, and we just hope it's a cramp. Looks like it is. He's just got a chance to loosen the calves up on the sideline.
Got to come out for one.
Get a lot of water. These guys got to be drinking water on a night like tonight. Similar to the game down, the pro game down in Miami last week when the temperature on the field was about 100 degrees.
Oh, did you see Michigan State last week? 120 on the field.
Yeah, there it is on the field. Yeah.
And it's, again, lower you get, it's not.
It seems like we're starting these football games earlier and earlier now.
Meantime, Corey Morris is trying to run on the other sideline and get himself loosened up.
Here's Gray, bounces outside, then cuts back upfield, and a nice job to get inside the 10-yard line. Kenwan Gray just comes right back. I guess they gave him enough rest after that play, and he springs for the first down. Well, they had him 3rd and 14, and they don't even worry about passing it. They go to the run, and look at this.
What a great run. A 19-yard run gets the first down. I think Corey Morris is ready to come back in.
The great job about Kenwan Gray is he cuts it upfield instead of trying to go outside. He cuts upfield and gains your yardage. That's where you're going to gain it. You don't gain it going sideline.
Got those quick feet, too. It just, Corey Morris is not back in yet, but I saw him tell the coaches he's ready.
1st and goal from the 10. Jeremy pitches out to a new back in there. 42 Dombrowski gets a chance to run it.
Let's see if they're going to get Morris back in there. He's ready. He's not sitting on the bench anymore. Maybe they just want to hold him out for as long as possible.
So Wallstedt pitching to that man Dombrowski that time, and not getting that much. Kenwan Gray, 12 carries for 92 yards.
Remember, he's had a couple of big losses.
Yeah.
And that 19 gets some of that back, but he's still not over 100 yards.
Morris on the sideline right there. So he's up and on his feet. Handoff. Kenwan Gray, and he gets hit in the backfield for a loss.
Well,
that time getting in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
That time it was Matt Fox.
I don't know the angle that he's got. And he sees the field where he is obviously better than we do. The speed he's got, we've already seen what happens when he takes it outside. I'd like to see him just take that to the sideline. Just take a look. You're going to see him come here and cut up. Now right here, I got to believe he can beat 96 around end. Rather than cut it into all these big guys, I think you take it around end.
Clock winding down here in the third quarter, 5 seconds and counting. They will get the playoff, looks like, and they do, just barely. Jeremy Wallstedt rolling out, gets pressure, cuts upfield, and and he takes it in for the touchdown.
Good thing he scored because he had his brother wide open in the middle of the end zone. He just couldn't get turned to throw it. Great run, though.
13-yard run. And the Berkley Bears come back after being silent for quite a while. Let's take a look. There it is, Joe. See some room.
That's what we've seen all day. And he gets a nice downfield block from one of his receivers and an easy run. But you just saw that last little block you saw at the end was number 28. That's David Wallstedt, and he was wide open in the end zone, and Jeremy could have gotten himself turned to make the throw. You'd have hit him as well, but yeah, you take a touchdown any way you can get it. He's had a great game running the ball.
The extra point is good with plenty of leg. As Kunkel puts it through, and Wallstedt with a 13-yard run, and the last play of the third quarter. 35-14 the score, and the Highlanders have a long way again to come back, and now a little bit even tougher.
Yeah, now
they're more tired than before. 7 plays, 41 yards, 3:19 off the clock, capped off by the 12-yard run by Wallstedt.
And then, again, you've got, it's real simple, you've got 12 minutes to score 21 points and not give up any. That's what Adams has in front of them. Asking a lot. Again, they're not the kind of offense that scores quick. They do need to kind of grind it out, and you just don't have enough time to do it.
There you see on the sideline Ryan Chase, who's trying to work off the leg cramps that he had.
And, we saw at halftime that the time of possession was dead even, 12 minutes apiece. Third quarter, Berkley had it for 8:39, Adams for 3:21. So
5-minute difference there.
Yeah, they didn't score a ton of points, but they won the battle. And now you just play the fourth quarter. All you have to do is play it. You don't even have to play it even. All you have to do is play it fair, and you're going to win the game.
Kunkel to kick off to start the fourth quarter. High kick, short at the 15, taken down the sideline there by Jason Miles, and Miles is brought out of bounds at about the 25-26-yard line.
There's another thing, again, it's something coaches and players alike have to get used to that rule. Again, of starting the clock, you used to tell a guy on a return when you're down like this, get out of bounds on the return. So at least the clock does stop until you snap it. Well, now it stops no matter what. Take it up the middle and do whatever you have to. You don't have to get out of bounds on return plays.
You see the Adams cheerleaders trying to get their offense cheered up and get some points on the board as they trail now, 35-14 by 3 touchdowns. Todd Velasco, the quarterback, handing off to the tailback, and a nice run to pick up the first down by number 45, Buzek. Buzek in there has been picking up some yardage for the Highlanders. He's had a couple nice runs.
Get those little quick dives to him, and when you're playing such a quick defense, you've got to get through the hole fast, and he does. He's not gonna put any moves on you or anything like that. But as long as he can get past that defensive line, make the linebackers make the plays, he's going to get 8, 9, maybe 10 yards. That time he did get the 10, got the first down.
And stretching out to make sure he gets the first down. First and 10, ball on the 36, and offsides. I think it was on the Highlanders as they saw the Berkley Bears trying to come in, and he tried to make a reaction.
I was about to say, now in the NFL, this would be a defensive penalty. I don't know what the high school rule is on this. NFL and college.
We have a dead ball foul, illegal procedure on the offense.
Yeah, I mean, that's
5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
That's the rule. That's a good call. In the NFL, they just put this rule in last year. If the defense entices it like that, then it's a defensive penalty. Defense can't draw you, but in high school they can. And I'm sure that's one of those rules that every year they make some changes. That's when they'll probably catch up with college and the pros and make that change in a couple of years.
Jason Miles and Eric Sable checking in. There you see penalty yards, 55 for Adams, 32 for Berkley.
That hasn't helped the Highlanders either.
First and 15. Velasco getting pressured, rolls out and will take it himself, and getting out to about the original line of scrimmage. Brought out of bounds there by number 44, Hadfield, Greg Hadfield for Berkley.
Okay, the unsung heroes in the Berkley defense, and we see what their line and the linebackers are doing. Their corners, their D-backs, by the unsung heroes. Every time he drops back, no one's open. You know, and granted, they don't have to cover for a long time. You know, it's not that 3 or 4 second deal because of the pass rush. But they're not letting. He can't even think about trying to release it quickly or anything like that because he's going to get it intercepted. The D-backs are doing a great job of covering every receiver out.
2nd down and 10. Blasco unloads, but to who?
Well,
did he get him?
Did that get deflected? Yeah, it
looked like it was tipped. Just too much traffic down there, but he did get it for a couple of yards.
I think Eric Sable caught it for a few yards, but, you know, that's not...
A lot of traffic down there. Let's see if he got it. I'm surprised he even got it in there.
Yeah, well, here you're going to see him hit number 30. That's Sable underneath, and it didn't get deflected, but
no,
that's, you know, it's low. He's got to go down to catch it.
That's what happened. That's why we didn't even see him on this side.
But again, downfield, he can't even think about throwing downfield. Everybody's covered.
Well, 3rd and passing down again, 3rd and 7.
And you can't throw a hitch and go because the pass rush will get you by then.
Quick drop, unloads, and they had him covered like a glove. It was intended down there for number 81, Nat Bingham, the guy who caught the touchdown pass, but he was covered very well down there by Greg Hatfield, number 44, right in front of him.
Hatfield
Let's take a look.
was in front of him. Nick Dolman was behind him.
Yeah.
And Hennessy was back there, too. That's just
roughing the passer
great coverage.
on the defense.
Well, there's a big penalty, roughing the passer.
You get that aggressive pass rush, and sometimes it'll cost you.
Big break for the Highlanders. That's a play you don't want called. You can see, there we are. Our cameras are right there.
There's us. Half those people you just saw are coaches.
And then you see a lot of cameras.
MHSAA changed the rule last year. It used to be you couldn't go tape other people's games, so it was always this tape exchange. And half the schools were finding ways to get around that rule, so they just said, heck with it, everybody can go tape everybody. So, like, we got a Clarkston guy down to our left taping this game.
Run outside there by Jason Miles. And not bad for a 1st down carry. Gets about 4 yards. So it'll be 2nd about 6 coming up. So Miles provides a little bit of help there offensively.
And now the clock is still running, and they had it stopped for a minute. I don't know why they'd stopped it on 2nd down, but the ref made the point to keep it going. And that's not helping Adams either. You need 21 points. You need the clock to stop. Get out of bounds, throw passes, do whatever.
2nd and 6, ball on the 43-yard line. Velasco back to throw. Drops back and then takes off for the 1st down and more. Down the sidelines and out of bounds at about the 26, 27-yard line.
I mean, this guy's, he's leaving it all on the field. He's got open receivers. He knows he hasn't got time to set up and make the pass. Right here, he sees a guy open. There's no way he can turn and make that throw. He's going to get nailed, so he has to take off. And he's quick enough that he can get around and get the 1st down.
Well, Velasco getting some tips there from Wallstatt. He saw Wallstatt was getting some big yardage. He said, I can do that too. And now he's chalking up some yards.
It's going to be one exhausted kid tomorrow.
12 carries, 42 yards for Todd Velasco. Now back to throw again. Goes to the air. Ball up for grabs. Corey Morris had it and dropped it. And I have seen that a couple times tonight, Joe. He's throwing, and I don't know whether the receivers are not.
That slipped out of his hands.
Yeah.
That one flat out slipped out of his hands. Wounded duck. He knows, look, he's going to wipe his hands.
Yeah.
This is, there were some times where, you didn't know where he was throwing.
Yeah.
I swear, he's throwing, he wants to throw a little more to the right. Watch it. Just, look, that's a dead duck. If you get wounded, it's dead. And then Corey Morris.
Morris had it. Well, maybe the ball was slippery, because right there, it slips out of his hands too.
Wow.
Big break for the Highlanders on that one. 8:59 left here in the 4th quarter. Velasco to throw. This time gets a lot on it, and maybe too much.
They're covered. I mean, it doesn't matter. Even if it's there, it's going to get knocked down. And it's nothing he can do about it either. He's got to try for that. This is great defense by the Bears. I don't think you can fault the execution for Adams at all. These guys have these plays read.
That was Tony Vagnetti down there as he comes off the field, and also number 30, Sable.
And we've got 3rd down and 10.
$8:53 left on the clock, and now
He drew him. Nose guard jump.
So it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up now.
Good hard count by the quarterback. Gives you a couple more options. Now you can maybe even think about running the ball.
Yeah.
Dead ball foul, encroachment. Penalty, still 3rd down.
I think you're in 2 down. Well, you're definitely in 2 down territory. They're going forward on 4th. Field goal doesn't help them at all.
Yep. So maybe they will run here, try to get it closer, maybe go for it on 4th. Let's see what they do. Glasgow may take it himself. Let's see. They give it outside, stumbled and tripped up in the backfield. Eric Sable was hit there and tried to fall forward for some yardage, but didn't get that much.
Dave Mendez got in there first and got his legs and limited him to maybe a yard.
Yeah, half yard at that.
You've got to go for it.
So 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Here it is. Let's
There's
see.
Mendez right there.
Yep.
Trips him up.
Fourth and 4. Good run. He got the 1st down and more. Big run there by number 49, John Wolf.
It's a gutsy call. 4th and 4 and just run it right up the middle like that.
Yeah.
And it works. Great execution, great call.
Let's take a look. Right up the middle. They don't expect it.
Of course, obviously, we're saying great call because it worked. You know, if it didn't, we wouldn't.
They're getting tripped up down there and diving forward for the 1st down. Ball at the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Highlanders. They trail 35-14 with 7:55 left in the game. Hand off up the middle, and they're gaining some yardage there, Joe. And again, it's number 49, Wolf.
Yeah, and it's you're probably saying, where was this all day? This is the offense that they wanted to run, which takes time off the clock and gets you near the goal line. Now you don't want to take as much time off the clock. You want to score and get the ball back quickly, but this offense is working very effectively right now.
2nd down and 4 coming up now for the Highlanders. Highlanders eating up the clock, which really doesn't help them too much. Again, Wolf. And he's stacked up and finally brought down by number 32, Samut, Nick Samut.
And if you saw number 30 there, Eric Sable, his helmet came off. There's a new rule in college football, which I really like. Guy's helmet comes off, plays dead. Wherever it is, helmet's off, plays dead, the ball's where it is. And that's it. End of story. It's a good rule. It's a nice, safe rule.
They should do that after a touchdown, too. Do some kind of rule after a touchdown.
You're not allowed in college. You get unsportsmanlike.
Good.
That's been for a while. Oh, come on. I like that stuff. You need more of that. Let them be kids.
Velasco, the blitz. He loses the ball, and the Berkley Bears come up with it.
Ooh,
Velasco turned around and saw a blitzing Berkley defense come around.
Was he?
And
boy, I thought he was down. I mean, it just kind of disappeared. Let's see.
Let's take a look. Who comes in the picture here? I think it might have been 21. Yep. Look at that. Right there.
Yeah,
Gray.
Yep. He did strip him. Okay. Yeah, he wasn't down. That's a good call. Free ball.
5 minutes, 22 seconds they had on that drive before they gave it up, and it's a shame the Highlanders couldn't cash in on anything. Here come the Bears now. 6:38 and have a chance to eat up the clock because they've got it inside the 15-yard line. Highlanders stack them up.
Yeah, and it was Baginski who stripped the ball after the whistle blew and walked into the end zone. No touchdown.
Scalzi just laying there saying, wait a second, what's going on here? Help me
Whistle
out,
blew, I
Ref.
let go of the ball.
Yeah. Glasgow upset after that. 5:22. They had taken the ball down the field, eaten up some time.
And I'll tell you what, though, I mean,
wearing out the defense.
Turnovers show up in his name. Believe me, this guy played. He's really played well, I think. You know, a couple of mistakes, but he's really had to carry that offense by himself.
Wallstad takes it himself, cuts upfield into the backfield, and brings it out to about the 29-yard line. Well, there we see him again. Jeremy Wallstad taking it into his own hands, and now he is hurt. Another cramp again. That's a cramp. You can see the players, the heat is getting to him, and they've got to get on the sideline, get some water in them.
But he'll have to come out for a play unless they want to take a timeout here. I mean, we're talking about Velasco. So I think statistically, it's not going to show up that he's had a good game. It's one of those situations. It's not his fault that he's getting blitzed like crazy. It's not his fault that he has no time to throw.
Here's the run by Jeremy
Made a lot of
Wallstead.
things happen. Now, here's a guy who's made a lot of things happen in this one. It looks like a designed run. And let's see, at which point does he cramp up? Falls down, and right there you can see him start to cramp up before the play.
Oh, he's got it right there.
Yeah, everything just tightened up on him.
And it's the calf that it's been a lot of players tonight. The calf is cramped up on him. You need to stretch it out on the sideline and also get a lot of water in him. 5:50 left here in this contest between the Highlanders and the Berkley Bears. And the Highlanders came up empty-handed after another turnover. After driving the ball 5 minutes, 22 seconds, and had nothing to show for it. And now you just wonder what the Berkley Bears are going to do. See Jeremy Wallstead, 10 carries for 96 yards. That's a pretty nice average to have.
Yeah, for a quarterback who, again, is going to get sacked every now and then, you lose the rushing yardage on that. That's a great job. And you see Corey Morris there feeding him a little water.
Yeah, Morris knows. Morris had the same thing happen to him earlier. And there you see the fans on the Highlander side. As we still wait for Jeremy Wallstead to get that calf stretched out. Corey Morris down there with him. He had the same problem back in the first half.
You know, we've seen both quarterbacks deal with this tonight.
Yeah.
Velasco had the same situation. Whenever he was sitting, even before the start of the half, they were rubbing his calves, making sure.
And now Pat Fox out there to make sure that it's just that and nothing more than a leg cramp.
Another thing good coach will do, once the official calls the timeout, let you lay out on the field. Lay out there for a while. Catch your breath. Take all the water you need. Get it fixed now. Why miss 5 plays when you can just miss the one while you're taking care of it on the field? You take them to the sidelines and they're going to run plays. This is just a smart coaching move.
With 5:50 left here in the fourth quarter, the score 35-14. And Jeremy Wallstead down on the field. We will pause and be back with more fourth quarter action right after this message. Stay with us.
TCI Cablevision of Oakland County, nominated in 3 categories for National Cable Ace. Sports programming, public affairs, overall commitment to local programming.
And the Cable Ace award goes to transition.
The Cable Ace goes to TCI Cablevision of Oakland County.
TCI 63. See what you've been missing.
There you see Jeremy Wallstead behind the crowd there, taking a seat on the bench.
Well, actually lying down.
Yeah. Lying down.
And now
that leg up in the air.
Randy Tidwell, I believe, at quarterback now.
Randy Tidwell, the quarterback. He's got the familiar backfield of Morris and Gray. And yes, you will see problems when you get a new quarterback. Offsides, or rather, we'll see if it's
illegal motion,
encroachment or illegal motion. Let's see. And it is against the Berkley Bears. So.
A dead ball foul, legal procedure on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So legal procedure called on the Bears. Let's take a look what happened here.
Over 93.
There's the first movement. There it is right there.
A couple of guys, they just didn't have the count.
Oh, you see the pulling guard on that one.
Yeah, they didn't have the count at all.
First and 15.
So the guy goes on two.
Yeah. First and 15, 5, 20, and then do it again. As you see, the guard is very eager to pull in this play, so he tried it again. You can see number 76, Scott Majors, pulling out to the right side. So legal procedure again as we hear the call.
We have a dead ball foul, legal procedure on the offense. The game clock will be kept by the officials on the field.
The game clock will be kept by the officials on the field, is what the referee said. So
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, why he's saying that, I don't know, unless the clock's stuck.
there's a confusion on the. Now again, there's a new rule this year on when the clock should start and stop,
but that's only on change of possession.
On change of possession, but
right here.
There's some confusion down there with the referees, so they want to keep the clock down on the field. So
this is going to be like kind of World Cup soccer. We're not really going to know when the game's over.
We'll keep you updated on what we have up here, so it'll be close. They already put more time than they should have before on the clock. Now the referee is telling Jeremy Wallstead, to get off the field.
They haven't run a play yet. He has to be off for a play. They haven't run one yet. You know, because of the injury situation.
Yeah, they have.
No, they haven't. They've had 2 illegal procedures.
That is correct. That's right. They tried to run plays.
Yeah, they haven't run a play. So he can't come in yet.
He can't come in. So a tough time for Randy Tidwell as he's trying to just get a play off.
Yeah. At least able to say he played a varsity game first day, you know.
1st and 20.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they do get the playoff. It wasn't a great handoff, but a little bit of a run there for Scalzi. Ernie Scalzi manages to get a few yards out of it. And now
he's cramped up.
Jeremy Wallstead will get back out there. And now Scalzi's cramped up. And I'll tell you, if you're a coach down there, why don't you tell these guys, stretch out a little bit, get some water in you, and you won't get these things.
Well,
but,
I think they're doing it, but it's just so humid out.
It is. I know when we were down on the field doing the Open,
we cramped up.
We cramped up trying to just do the Open of the program, and we had to do 2 takes, and normally we do it in 1.
Luckily, Gomi had a lot of water for us.
Yeah, if that's the master angler, he's got a lot.
It's probably from one of the lakes he fishes in.
So the clock is showing 0-0, and with that, we have no idea of how much time is left on the clock. At least we had a reference before. So 35-14 as we see the fans here, and Rochester Adams High School will be back with more action here in the 4th quarter right after these messages.
I'm the king.
Rock and roll?
No, coupons. I'm Mike Gauthier. Some people call me the king of coupons because nobody brings you bigger savings than my market share coupon book. Having trouble saving money? Then do what the Tripp family does. Carry the book, Mike's Market Share Coupon Book. You'll save thousands on things you use every day, like eyeglasses, oil changes, and cleaning from companies you trust. But you can't save unless you carry the book. Remember, you'll save a king's ransom using my Market Share Coupon Book.
And we're back here at Rochester Adams High School, picking up the action here in the 4th quarter. Clock is being kept down on the field by the referees, so they're not going to show it on the scoreboard. And Morris takes it. Corey Morris strung up at the line of scrimmage, still not down. It took the whole defense to really bring him down.
He's tough.
About 8 players to finally get him down. 3 guys, only 3 Highlanders were outside of the pile.
Did he ever actually go down?
Let's take a look at the big effort here by Morris as he kind of limps off a little bit.
He never went down.
A lot of crunching.
Whistle blew to stop progress, but he never went down.
3rd down.
4 minutes left, I believe.
4 minutes left on. The game clock kept down on the field. This is Gray trying to break it outside, and he's strung out also. So the Highlander defense staying strong here, and it'll be a 4th and punting down now. And you see the players stretching out down on the field. The quarterback, Wallstead, used a lineman to just kind of hold on to and stretch his calves out. And you'll see a lot of players trying to do that.
Kind of funny if you saw the other night when Notre Dame played Vanderbilt. Ron Powles was doing this after half the plays. It didn't help him complete any passes. He still stunk. But he was doing that on every play. He was doing that same stretch. And it was like, wow. But that's down in Hurricane territory in Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
It's real humid there.
Trying to get off the field, a Highlander, and he does. And that was number 34, Miles. Jason Miles. The punt now by Corey Morris.
Ooh.
The They got in on him, and they hit the punter, but nothing flagrant, so they don't call it.
He should have fallen down.
Yeah. And Baginski, he should have fallen down, too.
Sooner.
Yeah. And then finally, the Bears get on top of him. And it's at the 42. Let's see where they called him. Let's take a look.
Bit of a high snap. Controls it. Now right here, just go down. You'll get the penalty if you go down.
He would have. Running into him was Matt Frazier.
He's so darn big and strong that they can't knock him down.
He should go down here.
Just go down because you're.
But watch, now 2 guys come in, and then 3 guys come in, and then 4, 5, 6 guys come in.
Yeah, who do you give the tackle to?
Todd Velasco trying to get his team down there again. Unloads downfield, great pass. Just let him too much. Intended down there for Nat Bingham.
Boy, if he can keep it at the sideline, it's a tough pass to make.
And that time, Todd Velasco showed us the arm that he has and the accuracy.
Deep out is hard to throw.
Yeah. Clock stopped. And it'll be 2nd and 10 now for the Highlanders. Look at that one. Good tight spiral. Just not too much.
Yeah, didn't come to the sideline.
Velasco, quick drop, has a man outside. Nice move inside, and he'll pick up the first down. The pass there by Goza. Mike Goza on the reception.
Well, and it's 1st and 10, and again, we don't know how much time is left. We can guess.
Sounds like 2:30. I just saw the referee giving a signal, if that is correct. If they can guess. 2 minutes, 30 seconds roughly. Nice pass, and wrapping him up quickly, though, was number 22, Greenway, but flags on the play, and we'll see what the call is here.
Got to be interference for where they threw the flag.
Like he might have had him wrapped up before he touched the ball. Let's see.
Well, yeah. Now, if he did it before the first touch.
Pass interference on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
After that ball gets deflected the first time, you can do whatever you want to the guy.
Let's take a look if he does have some contact with him before he gets to it. Great FD.
Oh, yeah.
He's wrapped around him before he even touches
it. Wrapped around his waist.
So Greenway was all over the intended receiver. And
well, as usually you look for the arms to be held down. The arms were free, but his waist was.
Handoff right up the gut, and a good run here by Buzik down the sideline. Buzik finally knocked out of bounds.
Good play.
So they have been successful with Buzik and also John Wolf running up the middle and springing for some yardage.
He did a good job of reading his blocks and being patient, letting things develop. Didn't force anything here, allows himself to get outside and around these 2 guys. Now it's just a sprint, see how many extra yards he can pick up, and it's quite a few.
5'10", 190, and Buzik gets it down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. Let's see, at the 7-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 7. The pass, and there was definite interference that time as he was pulled back. The pass intended down there for Vagnetti, and Vagnetti was basically almost yanked down. He was pulled back.
He got interfered twice. He got pulled back, and he got jammed.
Let's take a look. Watch Vagnetti to the left of the screen, being covered down there by number 27, Hennessy. Hennessy has an arm on him, and then
got a left arm underneath on his side, underneath the arms, and just shoved.
So the Bears making it real easy now.
And stopping
inside. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line.
When the clock's not moving, well, we don't even see the clock, but it was, off that incompletion and penalty. It's
Velasco gets met there by number 44, Hadfield. Hadfield had a beat on him right away. Nobody touched him.
Oh, play action didn't fool anybody.
So that knocks them all the way back to outside the 10. Let's see where they are, about the 13-yard line. So ball at the 13. It'll be second and goal from there. Todd Valesco back to throw into the end zone deep and overthrows his intended receiver, Goza. Time is at about 1:35 left on the clock. Right about 1:35.
They got third down again. They're going for it if they don't get it here. 2 plays to score a touchdown.
We've had a little bit of everything here tonight. We got to keep the clock. We've got to do. This has been one crazy night to start the 1996 football season off. Handoff up the middle again, and a nice run this time. Stacked up. Buzik was hit after gaining a few yards. It'll be 4th and goal. Ball inside the 10 at about the 8 or 9 yard line, and a timeout down on the field. About 1:20 left on the clock, was it?
Yep, and Adams called timeout.
Don't forget, next week we'll see the same Berkley Bears, this time taking on the state-ranked Clarkston Wolves. That's Saturday and Monday at 8 p.m. And the big contest there. Berkley Bears, advantage for them. They're going to be at home, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Joe says. Clarkston is his pick.
Clarkston's good.
Now, Berkeley's good. Clarkston's better. Is that what you're trying to say?
Really good.
We'll see that next week, and we'll see if Joe's correct on that. Jim DeJager talking to his offensive unit now, trying to get them in the end zone one last time as really a moral victory, really. They should have had one earlier in the quarter as they ate up 5:22 off the clock to take it down the field, but a turnover cost him there this time. Minute 15 left on the clock, and they have a chance to get it in the end zone again. Let's see what they do. 4th down and goal.
Coming at me.
And again, the officials are keeping track of the time down on the field, so we can't show you the clock on the board, as that reads 0-0. The pass, as he led him a little too far, but good coverage down there. That time, no interference by Hennessy, and the Bears take over on down.
And the Bears can just fall on it.
Yeah.
Assuming they can get those snaps off there. Had a little trouble with that last time.
Let's take a look. Velasco trying to loft it up there and have his receiver get under it, but it was just too far.
For throwing off his back foot, he put it in his hands.
Look at that. He sure did.
That's a great throw. And his numbers aren't going to show it.
Better angle there,
really
that
played,
throw.
I think he's played pretty good tonight. It's one of those things when you're a quarterback, you're getting blitzed like that.
Jim DeJager looking on. Tough night for him and the Highlanders as they went down 28-0 early. And the Berkley Bears were just allowed really to coast in this one. Highlanders tried to come back with 2 unanswered
They scared them for a
touchdowns.
while.
28-14, but
and,
then
it was the early turnovers that hurt him, and now we got a flag.
Flag on the Berkley Bears, looks like. Let's see. They're the ones who kind of came up. What do we have? Illegal procedure.
Dead ball foul, delay a game on the offense.
Took too long. Coming to the line of
Half the
scrimmage.
distance to the goal line.
That'll knock him back. Took a little too much time. And again, the refs have that time down on the field.
And all they have to do is sit on it. They don't have to run anything.
In there at quarterback is Tidwell again.
Well, they had problems getting the snaps off before. This time he does.
This time he does. Straight dive up the middle. And the Highlanders stack it up there. So 2nd and long coming up inside the 5. Let's see where they're at now. Ball at about the 5-yard line.
And I like one thing I like that Jim DeJager's doing right now is, actually I like what he's not doing. He's not calling a timeout. Down 21 points.
Yeah.
You know.
Clock says 45 seconds and counting down, so this may be the last play here for the Bears. Second and about 14. Nothing but a pile there. And might do it for tonight. Again, we don't have the clock.
And so the fans can't count down.
And that pretty much will do it. That's it.
That's the ball
That
game.
will do it for the first contest of 1996 as the Berkley Bears, as Joe predicted.
Well, you did too.
Well, we predicted.
We
came up on top of the Adams Highlanders 35-14. Pat Fox and Jim DeJager meeting at the middle of the field. And a strong effort by the Highlanders to come back. As Joe and I, and I'm sure a lot of people watching, thought that the Bears were going to run away with this one. The Highlanders came back, took some advantages of some turnovers, and tried to come up with some points, and they did a good job.
I mean, 8 minutes left in the first half, and we were looking up the mercy rule.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about the mercy rule. Didn't come into play as the Highlanders made a game of it, and then the Berkley Bears put it away with the final score, 35-14. And we'll be back to wrap things up from Adams High School right after these messages. Don't go away.
If you wish a video cassette of TCI Sports, the cost is $25. Send a check payable to TCI, along with your name, address, and the names of the teams that played in the game, to TCI Sports Videotapes, 4500 Delamere Boulevard, Royal Oak, Michigan, 48073. Remember to tell us which game you wish to receive. And thank you for watching TCI Sports.
Dave Zorin along with Joe Abramson back here at Rochester Adams High School, where the Berkley Bears have come up big over the Rochester Adams Highlanders 35-14 to kick off the 96 football season. Let's take a look at the final stats for you. Passing 52-25. Not too much passing tonight, Joe. What was effective, though, was Berkley's passing. When they did have to, they came up big.
Yeah, and that was early on, and it was just a little short outs. But the passing game for Berkley was effective in another way, in that Wallstedt would roll out, and then he'd take off running.
Right.
The quarterback ended up rushing for 96 yards and a touchdown. So the threat of the pass was there, and it allowed them to gain yards. But you can see it turned into rushing yards, and again, they're triple the total.
Yeah, triple the numbers for Berkley. Great offensive attack tonight, and basically stopped the Highlanders too defensively, causing turnovers. And you saw the turnovers down there too, 1-3, and that hurt Adams.
Oh, and you saw that time of possession. It's not like Berkley had the ball longer. They just were more efficient with it. And here you see it. They started out on fire, and then were a little more consistent. That
28 unanswered points, as I covered up there.
That doesn't add up,
that,
by the way, but
yeah, they scored 28 unanswered points before Adams got their 14, and then it was Berkley just adding one more there to make it 35-14. Next week, don't forget to tune in. Another great battle. This one will be the Clarkston Wolves, state-ranked, against the Berkley Bears. And Joe, what do you think about this one?
Best quarterback in the state, Dane Fife, best in the state in the last several years. There wasn't anybody of the seniors last year. None of them were as good as he is now. Now he's a junior. Now he's experienced. He's going to be hard to stop.
I think a plus for the Berkley Bears is they've got that first game under their belt to make some mistakes going into that game against a very tough Clarkston team.
It'll help, but again, it's going to be a little different. The way they were covering tonight, they're going to have to do it all day. They've got to have that pass rush. They can beat them.
Okay.
Without a doubt, they can beat them.
We will see next week as the Berkley Bears host the Clarkston Wolves. Tonight, it was the Berkley Bears 35 over the Rochester Adams Highlanders 14. For Joe Abramson and the entire TCI staff, for Ken Phillips, our statistician, and Pat Collar, our director and producer, I'm Dave Zorin. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week from Berkley High School.